Okay, we have started the recording. Haruhi Suzumiya. So, um, when did you guys like? Did any of you actually watch it back when it actually aired, or it was on
I
7 6?
no. I first came across the show probably when I was like 14, 15, something like that. And then maybe several years after that read like a few of the light novels, which I actually have to get into. I actually have to like keep reading. I actually do have to get around to reading at some point, more at some point. Because I stopped where the anime ended when it came to me reading novels.
Yeah, I heard of it when I was like probably like 17 or something, and it was like some random any tuber talking about endless eights and like the how everyone went crazy. So that's kind of how I learnt about Haruri. Haruri.
Haruhi. I mean,
Haruhi.
yeah, I mean, in the novel, it's a lot more palatable because it's like just one book, or I think it might be two.
I have heard of the show since late 2009, early 2010. That's like my earliest memories of finding out about this show. I didn't watch it until this year in September.
Okay. So, in my case, I watched this around 2012, ish. Uh,
Yeah, that actually that's a similar time around me, like 12, 13, around that.
and when I first watched it, it was in the broadcast order. And to be honest, I wasn't that impressed. Like, people like kept on hyping it up. People who watched it back when it came out, about how like it was a kind of a phenomenon, because like it came out like at the right time when Moe was popular. I can hear someone mouse wheel. um, but which order did you watch? Did you watch Harui in, you guys?
Um,
Broadcast.
so when I first came across it, would have been broadcast because they were streaming this on like they had this on YouTube or like some some basic piracy site I was using at the time.
Based, yeah.
But yeah, but for this purpose of this podcast, I watched it in chronological order because a certain torrent I found had it set in chronological order, so I was rewatching it again, and it's like, oh, this makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I guess to explain briefly what's the difference between chronological and broadcast order, it's that back in 2006 when the first season aired, they didn't actually air the episodes like in the order that the events actually happened, um, because they wanted to like create a sense of mystery, and also so that the climate scenes would come like towards the end of season one. So there are two seasons. Um, but I think now that season two is also out, and that's the movie as well, it doesn't you don't really need to watch it in that order. That's what I felt when rewatching it this time. uh Fahrenheit, I think you watched it in you actually watched it like in the quote
like
unquote
God
correct order.
like God intended.
Yeah.
I watched it in broadcast order. Yeah, I mean, I kind of enjoyed piecing the clues together as I was watching it because you could pick up on little details. Like if you remember, like the random stack of like laptops that appear in one episode, like you can then when you go and watch like when they beat the IT club, like you can you can then like figure out after the fact, oh yeah, like that's how they got the laptops and stuff. So it was kind of interesting in that way. And then I think probably like the thing that kind of hurts the most is probably episode 9 in broadcast, which is some day in the rain, which like chronologically goes right at the end, but you never really get that. And I think you sort of miss out. I think on like the the poignancy of that episode in a way. And then obviously, Mikaru, Ashina's Adventure, episode 0, which is set to episode 1, but in the chronology, it is set after the size of Haruhi Suzumiya, which is kind of how they make it. I think I went back and actually I made sure to rewatch Adventures, because you can't really appreciate it properly unless you kind of unless you understand who Haruhi is and the characters behind it. I think so. I think that episode also is hurt by the broadcast order. So yeah, there's pros and cons. I think honestly, I haven't like fully watched all of the actual like order the chronology, but I'd say you should probably start by watching the broadcast because of course that is how God intended, and we must obey God.
Yeah, I think though that you can't actually replicate the experience from back then, and it's very clear, like especially when you watch Endless Eight, and you see all these people complaining about it in the past, but it's not actually that bad when you and I watch it. But what we have to keep in mind is that they had to wait like a whole week for a new episode to come out.
Fahrenheit. I disagree with your assessment that God intended us to watch the broadcast order. The broadcast order is called the Kion order, whereas the chronological order is called the Suzumiya order. Therefore, God intended us to watch the the anime in its
Yeah, well,
yeah.
look, I mean, you can pray to false idols all you want, but I know what the true God wanted.
Um,
I don't know Fahrenheit. Like we're from you're from a fucking Keflor Discord server that turned into a right wing anime server because I showed up. So I don't know. Like I think it's already too late. You've already been corrupted.
we've already corrupted, but that's another story.
Well, as it turns out, that in like the Sai of Haruhi Suzumiya Part 5, Asahina mentions that, Haruhi might actually not be God or a divine being as we understand it. She probably just has the capabilities to alter certain aspects of the universe. So she's maybe not, exactly God in a sense, but she has like godlike power.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
this is what's so good about this show is that it's kind of it keeps the mystery. Like Haruri is a true enigma throughout. So you get like these like two interpretations, right? You get the you get the like Mikaru interpretation, which is maybe like more scientific because she's from the future, right? Which makes sense, and then you get the like fully like kind of like a devotional, more like the more like kind of like religious take from what's his name? I got it written down. From
Koizumi.
yes, thank you. Yes, from Kuzuime, who's a Nespa, right? And he believes that obviously, yeah, she's just a god and she has made this world, right? Um, so, but like it never like tells you, right? It's always up in the air, and then of course you have other characters who are also powerful, which I think we'll get to later.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
you know,
even in the light novel, I haven't even like read this arc right, but there's like an opposing team of another alien, an Esper, and a psychic who try and kill Haruhi as well. But that's like light novel content, and I haven't like read up to that part yet. I think the thing with Haruhi is it's almost like a chicken and egg situation, right? Like, did she create the universe? Did the universe create her? Is she like a god? Like, is she like a god, or is she like God manifested in a physical form?
I've also heard the fan theory that actually Kion is the quote unquote god, the you know
yeah.
unknowing god.
Well, at one point, he does. He can change the fabric of reality, can't he? Technically. But I think, that's. I mean, it's great to theorize. I think it's like the mark of like a good show.
I
Is that
What do you mean that he can change? He can alter the fabric of reality. I mean, I guess he can influence Haruhi because Haruhi has feelings for him. Is that what you mean?
yeah? Well, I was mostly talking about the film where where he has this like decision. So it's not because he has like innate powers, but he can still enact his will in a sense and change things. But yeah,
Yeah,
of course, his relationship with Haruhi
I
also makes him quite influential.
I
yeah.
mean the one.
I actually wonder if Haruhi's like a god in like the Gnostic sense, right? Like she has the divine spark of creation, and Kyon is like the demiurge or something like that.
I mean, as a joke, people used to like have this thing called Haruism, where they pretended to worship Haruhi. But Lane already did that stuff back in the 90s. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Haruhi.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean,
Actually,
I
Pyro.
have my own theory. Sorry, guys. I have my own theory where Haruhi is kind of like Nagato, in that she may have been a much more powerful entity, but this entity basically chose to be a teenage girl with like magical powers. That's also possible as well.
yeah, I mean, I think the reason why I've seen people give for the Kion theory is that Kion is the one who's like, actually like having his fantasy of like being surrounded by supernatural beings. He's the one who's actually experiencing it. Um,
Yeah,
but
because in the prologue, he just talks about how like more how normal everything is and how it's kind of boring, and then he meets like Haruhi, and like getting into like the movie, right? Like even though Haruhi annoys him, he does actually find it enjoyable and fun, like all this gallivanting around. So it makes you wonder: is Haruhi actually a god, or is actually Kyon the actual god who created like a vessel for his his divine power, basically in Haruhi?
so the novel I think came out much earlier, early
Yes.
2000s, like 2002, 2004, something like that. But I think when they released this, when Kyoani released his anime, like they were very conscious about like how like it would appear uh, on the internet, basically, of the discussions that people would have, of like the clips which people would share, the dance which they do in the opening was like.
You got to know that in universe, like they must have practiced for hours to do that fucking dance, right? Like Haruhi is an unfair taskmaster.
Yeah,
She's a capricious god.
yeah. I mean, if you go and look up clips, I'm not going to do that now. But if you go and look up clips of the Hare Hare Yukai, you will see like there's like even clips of like people in prison doing it. Like it was like
Before we continue
TikTok
talking
before.
about the
Yeah.
anime as a social phenomenon, I would like to go back to a point that Bio Gundam mentioned about Haruhi being like the divine spark or something. Well, whereas I think it's actually Haruhi that's like the technical demiurge because she has the causal power to change things or eliminate them, and Kyon is like the feminine Sophia that like with like stops Haruhi from actually doing, you know, from actually like destroying the world either through like actual destruction or through her own, um, for her desires and her from what do you call it? What are those like Silent Hill like worlds that she like creates in not in physical space, but
Oh yeah,
you
close
know what?
space. Yeah.
Yeah, the closed space. Uh, she becomes irritable. She becomes irritated quite easily, especially when Kyon isn't like paying attention to her. Uh, and ultimately, he has to like somehow bring her to her senses. Uh, which is not something you know. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I mean, this kind of strikes at the heart of the show for me, where it's kind of like it's sort of a bit like a Alice in Wonderland sort of setup in terms of the characters, where you have the straight character, which is of course a Kyon, right? And he's the point of view of the audience in a sense. He thinks like normally, he doesn't really believe in the supernatural. It has to sort of be proven to him very directly. And then you have the like crazy character, right? Which is Haruri. Of course, she's not crazy, but she's more like what's the word? She's
Eccentric.
yes, thank you. Yeah, she's a very eccentric and yeah, kind of a bitch, but which she got cancelled for recently. It's very sad. Um, um, so, so there's this really great relationship between the two of them where they balance each other out, right? So yes, like Hyun does take this more like passive feminine role, and Haruri is of course a girl of action and high spirits, I guess you could say. and she like everything she does, like her whims basically just drives the entire plot forwards.
Yeah, like she's very like chaotic neutral. If like to be honest, if anyone's played like D&D or games from it, like she's very like chaotic neutral in a Japanese sense.
Yeah. Well, I think she's on team. She's on team Haruri, right? Like she doesn't think about anyone outside of herself, really. Apart from Kyon sometimes. Actually, well, I mean, we'll talk about the film later, but I think Kyon is the only real example we get of Haruri actually being worried about someone or like being bothered that they're talking to someone else and so on.
So speaking of Kion, what did you guys? I mean, this is something which you have to like, which you see from the start, which is Kion's narration style, which they have borrowed from the novel which Haruhi is adapted from.
Yes.
Some people, I've heard some people finding it kind of annoying um, uh, because like he's not confronting Haruhi or anyone. He's just like making like internal snide remarks, complaining about everything. Some people found
But
it funny, but what did you guys think about it?
I mean, I don't necessarily find that a problem. Like well, number one, he's like the straight man, and like number two, the Japanese aren't as say confrontational as some people are like in the West as well. There's also that aspect to it.
Yeah. I'm fairly neutral. I actually I think it's fine because I didn't end up disliking him as a character. So
Yeah, like he's fun. Like he has some fun. He has
you
some
know,
fun like bangers. Like he has some good like moments. It's like, oh, that's pretty funny.
yeah, it came across as this like very kind of like it came across as like very Japanese, right? Like a little like passive aggressive, but nothing like too over the top.
It has to be purposefully cringe in order to be funny. In the beginning, he talks about not believing in Santa Claus, which is kind of a weird thing to even complain about.
I mean, he's high
He's
schooler, so
yeah, he's kind of like in a way he's kind of like
Also, because he doesn't
pseudo
believe that's what.
intellectual.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
Well, I wasn't really going to say anything else though, but there is this notion that the show goes with that Kyon is like above average intelligence, but he isn't quite as intelligent as Haruhi is because needs he thinks things need to happen for specific reasons or purposes, whereas while there is like an order of events that things happen in the world according to them, um, a lot of things that happen are, they happen chaotically or spontaneously, and he just hasn't like understood that aspect, unlike Haruhi.
Yeah, I think the issue with like Kyon, right, is that like he's a creature of not only modernity but also like stability, right? Because the thing is that life is inherently chaotic and random at times. It's not always going to be predictable. And I think the thing with Kyon, right, is I don't think I don't think down to earth is how I would describe him. It's kind of like he almost suffers from like Dunning Kruger, like the teenage, like I'm kind of better than you mentality that most teenagers have, or like a bit of Dunning Kruger. Like, yeah, he's smart and he's definitely insightful, but he doesn't know everything.
Yeah,
If that
I mean,
makes sense. If that makes any sense, I might be wording it in a weird way. Like forgive me, it's like 2 a.m. here, so
I guess there was like a small, a small trend of anime with protagonists like Kyon, like Hashiman from Oregairu, and
yeah. But I'd say like Hachiman's more like cynical, and he's talking about like salaryman culture and all that stuff. Like, and also like Hachiman's way more proactive than like Kyona's.
mhm. What about the protagonist from Hyoka, whose name escapes you now? If you have watched that
Oh
trend.
fuck yeah! Fuck. I've got the novel. I would say that he's probably more passive than Kyona's. Except I'd say that he's smarter than Kyon, but he's more passive. Oh,
Yeah,
actually, I would say he's smarter than Kyon in certain ways, but I think Kyon is probably. I would say they're probably like equal actually, but I think they're smarter in different ways. I'll have to reread the novel for like Kyoka. It's been for Hyoka. It's been a while.
yeah. I think one thing which they had in common is, well, actually, they're quite different characters, even though they might seem
Yeah,
similar.
I think intelligent
Actually,
wise, I think in terms of like intellect and like what they're good at, I think there's a lot of overlap. But like, I think he's more lazy, while Kyon's more passive. Like, there's a difference between laziness and passiveness.
yeah, I don't think that people are fair when like look at anime from this period and say like, oh, all the protagonists are
Well,
the same.
also keep in mind that I think the two of the three shows you mentioned were animated by KyoAni, so
Yeah. Um. Okay.
like I don't think it's necessary. Sorry, let me moderate my voice. I don't think it's necessarily like an unfair comparison. However, it's kind of simplifying things a bit too much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's definitely a archetype that is. I mean, it's repeated everywhere. I mean, there was like even when we
I mean, it's in White Album too. Like the main cat.
yeah.
What the fuck? I'm blanking on his name. Give me a second.
what we're going to say, Fahrenheit?
Well, I mean, it was even done in like Freer and this sort of like humor, right? Where you kind of have like Stark, like reacting to being put into this like crazy situation. I mean, it's fairly common, right?
Yeah, I mean, even White Album 2 has that with like Haruki to a certain extent.
Yeah. The only complaint which I personally had about Kyon's narration style is that sometimes it wasn't obvious, to me at least, when he was actually like responding out loud to some other characters, or just responding to them in his head. Um, yeah, I don't know if
Yeah,
that
yeah,
happened.
that is a thing I picked up from Tom actually when I was like watching the show.
Yeah. Okay. So you said that you have only read the light novels which cover the anime. I mean, how do
No,
they
there's
compare?
more light novels. I read up to what the anime covered.
So how do they compare to the anime?
Um, I mean, pretty much the same. There's like maybe a bit more like detail in the novel about like certain stuff. Well, keep in mind it's been like a few years since I've read these, but yeah, I mean it's pretty much like a borderline page by page adaptation of the original source material for the most part.
Yeah. I think I read like the novel which comes afterwards. I didn't like it that much. Bec- it kind of felt a bit like the author was like trying to like cover every genre. Um, I mean, even the in the anime itself, like you have the small arc where like um they end up like on a secluded island.
Yeah, wasn't
But
there? I'm swear to God, there was an episode that was like a Legend of Galactic Heroes reference as well. Like,
yes,
Oh, you mean the fleet battle? I thought that was like a combination between Ginga Eiyu Densetsu and Uchu. Well,
Sengen. Yeah,
space,
oh fuck
It
the
felt,
Yamato
yeah.
anime.
yeah. I mean, to me, it felt very like Legend of the Galactic Heroes, where like Kyon was like just dressed as like Yang Wenli, and then like Harry Suzumiya was obviously like Reinhardt, right? I mean, but maybe there's some other references I didn't quite
yeah.
pick up on.
The day of Sagittarius. I think that episode was called. Pretty good episode. I think that the author is like a big sci-fi fan reader, novel reader. So,
Think?
oh, sorry,
You think so? Why?
because I read that like on his wiki and his interviews, and also
Yeah,
there's
I
some
was being facetious,
references.
man. I mean, it's
I
obvious that
know.
he's a fan. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Like the sci-fi novel series Hyperion gets referenced
Yes,
a
that's
few
true.
times.
That's actually the novel that Glasses Girl gives to our guy.
Kion,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
That Nagato gives to Kion, yeah.
yes, yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I've watched the anime a few times, so now I can remember the names at least of the main characters of the SOS Brigade. So would anyone want to explain what the SOS Brigade is?
The SOS Brigade is a club that focuses on finding espers, aliens, isekai jin, and time travelers in order to have fun with them.
Also, vampires, magicians, and demons, angels. Whatever like supernatural things you can find, really.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it also does literally everything else. Like a filmmaking, like
Blackmail and
going and
extortion,
solving
prostitution,
a murder mystery, all kinds of crazy stuff, all kinds of crazy antics.
blackmail.
Yeah, going to a public pool, I guess. That's yeah,
for for 500 years, yes.
for 500 years.
Um, yeah. I think. I mean, what did you think? I think the first time which when I watched Haruhi, I was kind of disappointed in it because like I didn't really see Haruhi. It was like Haruhi kind of gave up halfway trying to find supernatural stuff, and they just did whatever. Um,
I
With the
kind of
irony being,
hmm.
with the true irony being, the supernatural stuff has already come.
yeah, yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like the best Haruhi, I would say probably the first season. I found it to be a really strong first season, and then the second season is probably the worst of it. And then it ends on like a high note with the film that I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, the
Um,
film was good, by the way, really good.
yeah,
I think if you watched it in chronological order, like it would be much less worse for you. So,
Yeah, but like a lot of the episodes I didn't like were in like the season two.
which episodes did you not like?
I didn't like the murder mystery, and like Endless Eight is a bit of a slog.
Yeah, was the murder mystery in season two?
Yes, I think so.
hold on, I will consult the graph.
The murder
Chance
mystery is in
buttons.
2006 anime.
Yeah, it's in season one. Yeah, that's what I thought
Okay,
as
never
well.
mind.
Well, what do
Yeah,
you? I mean, I won't really call these things like seasons one and seasons two that because like the 2009 anime its episodes are complementary to the original anime. They're not really like separate.
Yeah, I guess it's just like an arbitrary way of splitting it up, because it kind of like I guess we could talk about like part one and like part two, where like part one references a lot of stuff from like the part two contents, right, in
Yeah.
the chronology, and
Yeah,
it's almost as if like part one picks and chooses like the highlights, and then part two is left with like all the like remaining stuff from in the end, you know.
Yeah, like season two almost feels like you're getting the sloppy seconds basically.
I felt like it was okay other than Endless Eight. Um,
Yeah, I will say like the side of Haruhi Suzumiya was pretty good, but I also think that the size of Haruhi Suzumiya could have been 3 episodes instead of 5 episodes. It's sort of stuff like that which I think is which plagues these like part two, if that makes sense.
well, what happened in the Sigh of? I can't remember now.
It's basically like the odyssey of making the film, right? For
Oh, the
the
film, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I was kind of waiting for it. I was kind of hoping that we would actually get like the making that like piece of shit, and I was actually very glad that they did, and I found it interesting. But I also acknowledged that there was like a lot of kind of filler,
Yeah,
for
I
lack
mean,
of a better word.
there were some good moments as well, like the Mikuru beam and
There was some very good moments.
Haru getting Kion finally growing some balls and
Yes, yeah. I mean, that was great, right? Like there was some really good moments in that little arc. Especially like how like they did a great job of like building, like making like Haruri like look worse and worse, and like building up the like stress levels. I mean, it. I think they captured perfectly like what a high stress filming environment is like when you have like a like awful director, and like yeah, like Kyon
No,
was
not
fully
no.
justified.
Listen, it's more worse than that. It's an amateur. It's an amateur awful director.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
and but yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I already said this, but I think if you then shown Mika Ashton's adventure episode 0 after that, it would have just been better overall, I
Yeah,
think.
it was better. Yeah, it was better.
But I mean, even in like the title alone, the fact that it's called episode 0, it's like Haru was like planning on like there being like at least 10 of these maids at some point, you know, like so
Well, no.
it's so
Actually, the
funny.
point is
Yeah.
that she doesn't have a plan. She just goes with whatever. She thinks she can make a franchise, but she doesn't actually plan in order to, sustain
Yeah,
such a
this is the
motivation.
thing, right? Like yeah, like she wants to make this franchise, right? But she hasn't even came up with like a original name for her protagonist. It's still like Mikurashina, right? Like and it's like, oh, adventure, she goes on an adventure. It's like whatever. It's just it's such a funny title, I think, even that alone. And then, throughout that whole episode you have like, them setting off explosions of like a teacher coming out and like, stopping them. But obviously, like the reason why, like you can sort of figure out like why would they keep that in a film? Well, they obviously kept it in the film because they didn't want to go out and buy more explosives, right? So like you have to keep that shot in the film. it was
Yeah.
it was so amazingly made. I thought it's definitely one of the better like standalone episodes.
Oh yeah. Also, the episode with the God Knows song, by the way. What a banger.
Yeah, I think until quite recently, it was like one of the best scenes of like in terms of like showing like a band playing.
Yeah,
But
because
I
what's
think
great about it is that when you see it, like, oh god, this is gonna suck, and it's like, oh, it's actually really good.
yeah.
Is a
I don't.
very highly motivated person or when she has to like pursue something that like sort of transcends her own, devices of being, so that she can help other people. But when it comes to she having have to do something for her own self, for her own enjoyment, like the movie, she doesn't actually put as much effort, which is usually the other way around with humans. Well,
Yeah, I
uh,
agree. I agree. It's
I mean, she's
but yeah, like Haruri is a enigma, wrapped in a mystery, and she will just pull shit out of her ass randomly and deliver these like
I mean, the other thing about
amazing
Haruhi was
performance.
that we've never actually seen her appearance on screen, and I don't think in the novels that Kyo never meets her parents either. So how we don't know that these parents exist as well? This family shares exists.
yeah, we never go to
yeah,
see her home or whatever.
yeah, that's very interesting. I didn't think about that. We only know of her parents because of the flashback sequence when she realized her own, angst to Kyon, thinking that he'll, somehow, comfort her, which he doesn't, because he is actually kind of, it's kind of dumb, unfortunately, and she overestimated his intelligence.
Yeah, I mean, the movie, by the way, only got made because of like the supernatural powers. Otherwise, it wouldn't they wouldn't have been able to like edit it like in like a single night. I mean, they do
Yeah,
so much. The SOS Brigade does so much stuff. Um, but I kind of feel like it's for the sake, just for the sake of doing it. Just for fun, basically. Like she decides to make a website, and then she never updates it. Really, um,
yeah. She kind
yeah,
of
Oh,
like
well, Kyon
she
never allows her to update it because she
yeah,
just put pornography on the website.
well yeah she yeah can't help but sexually harass yeah Mikuru
yeah.
yeah and put photos online. Yeah, I
Mm,
mean but
the-
I think that's just like this is a personality, right? Like she goes from thing to thing. Her attention is very rarely undivided, right? Like except on like whatever like hyperfixation, and then once she's exhausted one thing, she move on to the next thing and the next thing. It's like for that reason, like, I think she's kind of this like realistic character, and in a way because she's totally like motivated by impulse, right? Like she
Yeah,
has
look,
her idea,
yeah,
you
it's like
know.
I said before. Like she's very like chaotic neutral, like alignment.
Yeah,
last time, when I mean, when we were discussing Watamote, we talked. We said that Tomoko was kind of anime brained. Um, I'm not. I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Haruhi is a little anime brained, I'd say, because of like how she treats Mikuru, I guess. She calls her like Moe and stuff, and like wants to portray outfits, maybe you could say. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess she's like, I don't know, Tomoko, if Tomoko had high stats or something. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
She wants to capitalize on the sexual appeal, and I wonder if that's because she feels partly uncomfortable of doing that by her lonesome, as in if she could, if she could only dress herself with the bunny suit as we see here, I don't think she would have done it. I think she needed someone else to do it with her. Why else would she, expose herself this way?
Well, I guess if in her head it will get more members and it will further her aims, and she will do it. I mean, she does dress in the outfit, right? Both
Yes.
with Mikuru, but also in front of in front of a large audience when she does the song. But I think there is something to say about this, right? Like it is possible that she could have been embarrassed herself, but she sort of used like Mikuru as a way to kind of hide the fact, right?
I
Like,
don't- Is there that much
the-
going on inside her head?
I think, well, I mean, they do this with other characters, right? Especially, they do it with. Hold on, I'll get a name in a minute. They do it with Nagato, right? Where there's this very subtle characterization going on, where you think like, oh, there's not really much going on in her head. She's just this like weird alien, but actually she's like, she has her own feelings, like, where people ask how what she can do for them, but then they never ask how she feels. Um, so I mean, I think it's definitely on the table that like Haruhi can be feeling many different things at once. I mean, the whole reason why she does these things anyway is because she's kind of bored with reality, like just regular life, right?
Yeah, like what if it's interesting about Haruhi is like it's almost like this rage against modernity in a way.
Mhm.
There's one aspect, however, that's might contradict this, is because she undresses even before she begins at the club with Kyon. She undresses before like all the boys leave the classroom when it's time for physical education.
She just doesn't see them as
Like people, yeah,
like
it's
people
like
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
people.
or
yeah.
men or
Just
whatever.
as,
Like
yeah.
she just sees them as boring.
They're just NPCs, like
Yeah, they're low
Yeah, that's
status.
interesting.
They're invisible.
Well, Kyon is
Uh,
also low status.
No,
yeah, but she doesn't. She doesn't care about.
they actually did like brain scans of it, right? Like if you're like low status male, like women can't see you, like they don't even register as a human being.
Yeah,
But well, I mean, Kyon is like middle class. I guess she is
Low
also middle class,
status.
but that's like there's like a um obviously in terms of like academic achievement and of pursuits, how he would step above and beyond our guy. So he ought to be low status, but he's like the only guy also that like tries even to confront her or even talk to her about anything at all. Which is probably why she even like decided to.
No, I'm just making fun of people who think that that's like the end all to be all to everything. Evolutionary psychology. This is the deciding factor in everything. I'm
I
just making fun of people who think
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I think it's a combination. The fact that Haruhi ends up paying to Kion is a combination. That might be explained as a combination of the fact that she met him like in the past, and also uh, bec- because like he's the only one who tries to speak to her. Really.
Also, here's the other thing: is actually he's also a time traveler as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean when I said.
yeah. I mean, yeah, like you have the stuff with the past, which you explain later. But I think the true initial thing is that he kind of finds her like attractive. Really, like that's what lights up that initial interest.
Yeah, that's the
Why?
first thing he says. Beauty stands before me, or something. I think that's like
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
thing he says in his
No,
mind.
but that's more like Kion's interest towards her, not her interest towards him. I would
Yeah,
say.
because here's the thing with like the show, and I think this is especially in the novels, that we actually never get her internal monologue much, or what the hell she's actually thinking.
No, but I think if you got too much information about Haruhi, it would kind of undermine everything, right? Like she kind of needs to be somewhat unknown, right? She has to like remain unpredictable, right? Because that's kind of what makes her interesting as a character. Like she has to kind of remain like unknown and chaotic. Um, so you get an entertaining story ultimately. It's like if you go and see her parents, well, that's kind of like that's less interesting, right? Like what you have in your head as for what her parents could be like is way more interesting than what they probably are like, which is probably just these like regular like people, um, right? Like
Yeah, who gave birth to God, basically.
like yeah. I mean, so yeah, I think they knew this, right? Like the writers and showrunners, like they understood this, and they just basically.
Well, any good story has like a certain level of mystery to it. Like you don't need everything explained to you.
Yeah. Whereas like Hyun is more like straightforward, right? Yeah, like he's very down to earth. It's like yes, he does I think overestimate his knowledge of the world, right? Like and he can't believe certain things unless he literally sees them in front of his face. But that's kind of everyone, really, in a sense. He's just very he's quite a well written character, and you feel that you can relate to him quite easily. At least I did. So yeah, I think I already said this anyway, but yeah, like both these characters together work really well because they complement each other, right? Like Kyon
Yeah.
grounds Haruhi, and Haruhi makes Kyon uh, makes his life more interesting, and therefore makes the show more interesting, right?
Yeah, I feel like some of the some of their feelings are like the same, like about how you know like the monologue at the start, given by Kion about how like oh he always knew that that Santa Claus wasn't real or whatever, and but that it took him like a while later to realize like the stuff in TV shows or whatever wasn't real, kind of echoes this the what Haruhi tells him later on, when the train passes by, and she explains how gives a quote unquote backstory about how like when she was in sixth grade she went to like a stadium with her father, and she saw like all these people in the stadium, and just realized that the people around her were not like special. um,
There is, yeah, like there is this kind of undertone, isn't there, of like that Haruhi hasn't really grown up, right? Like she still holds on to these like childish thoughts, right? Therefore, she still has this very active imagination, and she can think all these things, and she still has this kind of like she sort of like exists without much of an artifice, right? Um, and maybe nothing in the show is actually like maybe everything in this show is like her make believe, right? Like this is kind of how she sees things, but really she just it's just the like spin-off show is actually happening, really, where there is like where nobody really has magic powers. It's just a regular high school. There's always that.
I know, but the funny thing is that she like if that was the case though, the funny thing is that if that was the case, then she would be the one like seeing supernatural stuff, but uh it's actually Kion that sees the supernatural stuff, whereas from Harry's perspective, like nothing supernatural ever happened. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, that's a good point as well. I mean, again, like Haruhi is like like a very interesting character because secretly she doesn't believe any of this stuff, but she kind of wants to believe it, like superficially, right? So you're always wondering, like, does she genuinely believe what she's saying or not? Like, and it's
What
like.
what is the opening of this show? I always thought it was very weird. Even like back then, before I even watched the show, I would watch the opening, and the opening begins like Haruhi is a child, and there's like a falling star, and maybe she's like wishing about something, but then she like ages, she becomes older, and then a light envelops her from like the sky, and there's like
Hmm.
a hand that grasps her own hand. What is that? That's very strange.
I,
Yeah, I mean, my interpretation of that is like that's maybe like Hyun coming back from the future, but I mean, it could also be, like indicative of some like divine like interference, yeah, I mean, again, like it's just I like the mystery, there's just something very like intriguing about it.
Yeah,
Well, it is very contrast to a lot of things in Yemen, because the opening like starts with a vast expanse where like she's looking at the like the firmament of the world, the sky, uh, and something like reaches out into her own place. If we go back to what you guys were discussing, when she is talking about the stadium, um, well, for one thing, this is all a flashback. So this is a containment of of events that had already transpired. So they already have like a beginning and an ending because it's a memory. So you have this like uh, she relates these events that happened in a closed or an enveloped space inside of her mental faculties, which are themselves a closed space. And I thought this was interesting because she creates her own worlds within the actual worlds, which are called closed gates or something.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is like spaces.
which is which is kind of like how in Silent Hill characters would form other worlds, and they would exact supreme agency. Well, some of them would in those worlds. Um, but there's like usually a periphery, world called like the fog world that like transports, the human physical realm into the supernatural otherness, into the other world. Does that make any sense? Well, there is no such thing here in Haruhi, though. If you're like an Esper, you can like enter within this world, no problem, as long as you can find it, which is like a rift somewhere in physical space. But it's not a physical space. It's like a mental faculty um, given a plane of existence within reality. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, I was kind of like, it's a very strange kind of like thing the show has, these like ideas of close spaces. Like if like Hibari is feeling distressed, wouldn't it just kind of be presented in the world, right? But it also, but then like, yeah, you have to remember, like, she probably doesn't actually want to hurt people as well. So she kind of, these energies get kind of like compartmentalized into these close spaces, right? She kind of like, I guess you could almost say that she kind of like boxes it in. She kind of what's the expression? She like bottles it down, deep within herself, and she never really wants to express it, unless she has to. But um when her like emotions finally do take the, the better of her, it literally threatens everything. So there's no real kind of halfway solution for her. She either kind of rejects these emotions, or she fully embraces them, right? Like with everything she does. Um, and
I
then
think the
yeah, sorry.
the closest thing which I've seen to the closed spaces here is in Shakugan no Shana, where I think basically the idea is that there's this invisible vogue going on, um, supernatural vogue going on, which normal people can't see, and um, that kind of sounds cool or whatever. Um, yeah,
Actually, I
Yeah,
have another point about these closed gates. Well, they're not really about the closed gates, where it's about those places where the battles take place. The supernatural battlefields always take place in a.
you know what?
yeah, the battlefields always take place in a close space, right? yeah, like I my interpretation of this is just like this is like Haruhi not really accepting how she's feeling, I guess, like properly. She doesn't really understand how to deal with her feelings about certain things, so she just has to like suppress them. That was kind of my idea of it, because it's almost as if like Haruhi is also constantly putting on a performance, right? Like she wants to perform as the like brigade leader, but also at the same time she's also just this like teenager, right? And she gets jealous and stuff, and you know, so it's like who's the real Haruhi? You know, this is the
Haruhi.
question.
Yeah. Okay. Um, what did you guys think of? I guess since we are on the topic, um, the balance between the supernatural stuff and the slice of life stuff. I mean, because even though we talked about it kind of seriously, like within the show itself, it's all very lighthearted, right?
Yeah, it is, and like a lot of the supernatural stuff just sort of comes out of nowhere. Like, I mean,
Like
there's
the
this.
talking cat.
Yeah, there's the talking cat. I mean, it's so like a lot of them are really funny, and then like out of nowhere, like Asakura, the like class president, turns out to be a like assassin and tries to kill Kion, and you know, he has to get bailed out.
I do know in the light novel when the anti-SOS brigade shows up, I think I forget who the Esper is called, but I think he kills one of their members. Like actually, like kills them.
The anti-SOS brigade. What's that?
It was an organization formed by another time traveler, another Esper, another fucking alien who tried to like assassinate Haruhi. And look, it's very confusing, but there's like two Kyones in that one. There's like two of them now. There's like a like I haven't read that part in the fucking like novel yet. I've just heard of it.
I don't know. It
Yeah,
just
it's already.
sounded
I
kind of
mean, like,
funny as well.
yeah, like I'm thinking, like you know, like the film's like confusing enough. Like I still don't really fully understand what happened in the film. But like now that now there's like two Kyones and like there's like an ant there's gonna be like a like solid Haruri and like a liquid Haruri, and they're gonna troll each other over the internet. This is my idea for the new Haruri season.
In terms of like recommendations, it's a weird one, but I think if you like Harui, for the for this kind of stuff, you might like Steins Gate as well, because obviously you have like different timelines and time travel, and there's some light-hearted stuff, but it's more dark than Harui,
Yeah, I
I would
mean, not
say.
many people like get killed in Haruhi. Like aside from the few instances I mentioned, which by the way, that's like way off into the novel. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, you can just enjoy Harui as sort of just a slice of life thing as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
if you enjoyed I don't know like what's so random slice of life, if you enjoyed
Azubag.
K-On! If you enjoyed K-On! You'll love this show, I think, or maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of, I remember like a lot of, well, when I
Well,
say
I
a lot
think
of, I'm thinking,
I mean on the Azumanga Daioh, I think there's probably like a lot of overlap, like you know.
yeah, yeah. Uh, did you notice the foreshadowing, like in episode 1, when Harui asks Kion if she had met him a long time ago? Did any of you remember that?
Oh God, no, I don't. That's pretty
Which
good
is what
though.
episode? What you mean, episode 2?
I think it was episode 1.
The
Like in
I thought it was
chronological
all
order.
in
Oh yeah,
chronological
yeah. So
order.
that's
Yes,
the
it's episode 2.
episode 1 will be the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya Part 1. No, I didn't
Yep.
catch that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, um,
I'll
yeah.
definitely like yeah. In terms of like stuff to rewatch, like maybe like I should rewatch the first like part one, I guess, because things like a lot more of other pieces might come together. You know, um, yeah, just for like the sheer amount of like forwards of progression you get, like but yeah, it's
I actually
good.
did not notice that, even though I've seen both orders. I was too fixated on the fact that the anime mentioned Nazca. The well, Nazca, if you don't know, refers to Mesoamerican civilization, and I had before watching Haruhi, I watched the Nazca anime, and I was kind of like confused. uh, like what coincidence,
Mm.
The Nazca anime, maybe you've like heard of it from that show, Malcolm in the Middle.
Hmm.
Okay, I guess not. Never mind.
Um, would you guys say that Haru is a tsundere or no?
um, mm,
I would say, like, to a certain degree, yes, but no.
Haruri is Haruri. You know, she's like her own like thing. I think.
Hmm.
Well, she's not. I mean, she's not mean. She's just cold. She's not.
Yeah, I mean, she is kind of mean at times, like, but she does have her moments. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest. Like, I mean, what did you guys think of the? I guess the reason why I asked, but like she's a tsundere first of all is because like she she talks down to Kion and whatever, but then whenever Kion like gets close to Asahina or whatever, then she acts all jealous. I don't know if that counts as tsundere though.
it
She's
is.
that's
They
Tsune.
are.
That's
They
not
are
there.
definitely. Yeah, there are like definite like tsundere tendencies, and like in what she believes to be a dream, she does end up like kissing him, and have like a moment there. So yeah, I guess like I don't think she's like a pure tsundere. Unlike unlike a Nagato, who is like a pure like kudere, I
Yeah,
guess you could say.
she's yeah. I mean, like she even like follows like the whole trope going all back to um Raya Ayanami, and I think yeah, I think where like she gets like emotions or whatever after a while. So yeah, I was going to say I mean, do you think that Haru is kind of a bitch?
I think yeah, I think
A
when
girl
she's not
boss.
getting her way, yeah, like she starts becoming increasingly bitchy. I mean, I think when it came to the size of Harry Suzumiya, she pretty much had like a full on like temper tantrum, you know, like it wasn't pretty. Yeah,
I think
I would not tolerate like dissent. Yeah, like
She's going
kind
like
of
fucking full dictator.
yeah, like she's also pretty like cruel to like Mikuru, like physically dragging her around, like undressing her, like making her wear costumes and stuff. You
yeah,
know.
I mean, I feel like if like Haru was real and in like the current time, there would be like a thread on Kiwi Farms about um yeah. I think the worst incident is probably the one with the computer club. If you,
I mean, I kind of think that I mean that's pretty bad. But there's also one where she like drop kicks the like president of the computer club, which was just a amazing moment. I think if you like freeze frame in the right place, it's really funny. Like Haruhi like has gone in for like a perfectly executed like double foot drop kick on this guy's head. It's just so amazing.
Yeah, and the
But
fact.
you know, of course, you know, also like like sexually assaulting like Mikaru, taking photos and then like using that to like claim that the president has like assaulted Mikura, and if he doesn't give her a computer of her choice, she's going to claim that he sexually assaulted her. I mean, that's might be going a bit too far, obviously, but I think
That
probably the worst thing she did is probably drugging like Mikuru so she could do a like romance scene. That's probably the worst thing she did. Um,
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Maybe without Kyon, like she would end up in prison or whatever at some point. uh, yeah. Um. So, what do you think? But at the same time, like I don't like hate Haruhi. Really.
no, no.
She's not
I
a
mean,
hateable
you know,
character.
she's not a hateable character. She's actually like
Fun
well,
to
I
a certain
mean,
extent.
she's kind of like endearing in a way. It's like having a sister, I guess you can say. It's like she's going to do some heinous shit, but at the end of the day, you know, like you kind of have to love her, you know.
So what do you think? Like the message of the anime is? Do you think that there is one, or is it just like a bunch of stuff happening?
I kind of think it's
Isn't it a bit too
um,
soon to be talking about the message of the anime? I don't think we've like covered that many aspects of the anime itself.
Which aspects do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about like the cosmic imagery in this anime. Already in like the second or third episode, when Nagato, gives off the large exposition to our guy, we can see that like the windows initially they show like the outside world as this, but as the episode goes on, the windows show the universe. I thought it was pretty you know interesting why that would happen. Uh, why does the anime feel the need to explicitly showcase this thing?
Which episode are you
Any
talking
ideas why?
about?
Well, it's the episode where like Glasses Girl talks to our guy about Haruhi. She's the she tells him that she's like the thought entity, or well, she's not the thought entity, but the
She's
interface.
the organic interface of the
Yes, of the thought
what
entity. Yeah.
information thought entity or whatever.
Yes.
Uh,
is that episode 4 like the boredom of Haruhi Suzumiya?
I
I
think
can't remember.
episode 4 is when the blue-haired girl tries to kill our guy, and
Is
and
it?
and that's when we actually see the first supernatural battle, and that's when um we also see like the desert world for the first time chronologically.
I have to say that like the battles weren't really that good, because I don't think that they were the focus anyway for the most part.
Oh, there's
Um,
like only two battles. You have the battle against blue-haired girl and the battle against bug creature.
yeah,
Yeah, I
I
mean, yeah, like the battles weren't that. Yeah, like not a lot of attention was put into them, but I think they were still good because you felt a like sense of importance and gravity when they happened, right? Like which is what matters more than anything. I think like honestly, like when I'm just gonna come out and say this, okay? When the class president Asakura tries to assassinate Kyon, that is more impactful than literally any fight from a Fate franchise, because it's actually written competently, and you have a sense of what's going on, even though it's presented to you out of order, you still have a sense of its significance in the broader scheme, which is something that Fate fails at doing. So, you know.
I want to know, why does Asakura use a knife? Why does she actually use a knife? Yeah,
Um,
why?
I think she tries to kill Keanu. I'm pretty sure it's a knife. At least in the film, it's a knife. Maybe I
She
have like
uses
false memories of it having a
anime,
knife.
anime, and in the film both, she uses a Bowie knife to kill Kyon. But my question is, why does she use a knife at all? Why?
Well, this is the thing, right? Like, it doesn't really have a lot of rhyme or reason. It's probably just something like Haruhi thought up one day, like, what if like there was an assassin has a knife, like, you know, uh, it's kind of, yeah, like it's you know, like it's sort of like it makes sense in that it doesn't make sense, right? Like that's the thing.
It's just a weapon, really. And I think like it's like to show that like she's kind of sadistic as well. Like like if it were like just a gun or whatever, it wouldn't be.
Well, hmm,
Um,
her personality changes a bit when she attacks Kyon. She
yeah, of
doesn't
course. Yeah,
put this kind of, these are kind of strange aspects which aren't really. The anime doesn't really give an explanation or like a hint of why this is even the case. Not even in the movie, when she's like vastly different to her anime counterpart.
I think the reason is more like that she was acting like she was a normal human being. Um, you know, prior to like killing, trying to kill Keon. In the anime and in the movie, it's just um, I I think Keon said something like uh that Yuki must have recreated a version of a faulty version of Asakura. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
around. I mean, there is something that I have deemed the Asakura question. Now, I mean, I've been thinking about the film a lot, right? And I would say it's actually probably the best decision morally to go with the reality constructed by Nagato, because if he goes against this, he basically kills this like intelligent, this sort of like intelligent being, which is Asakura, right? Even though she's supposedly this like loose. Oh yes, by Gundam. Even though she is this like you know, broken codes, she is like human, in a sense, kind of in the same way that like Nagato is. So, but by changing the timeline, she never exists, right? Or she does exist, but you know, but she ceases to exist, right? She actually dies, right, through the like course of the time travel clusterfuck, right? Therefore, in order to save the most lives, Kyon should have accepted the new reality, and probably, you know, it's probably the like responsible thing to do to not have Haruri um, going around playing God, but um, at the same time, that's a lot less interesting. Yeah, like his life with yeah, you know, I don't want to get into this too much, but
yeah. I
now that we
think
talked
that
about the president, you know,
I mean it's kind of like weird that maybe like Keon isn't like as normal as Hillet's own as well, because there's all this stuff, supernatural stuff going along, and he's not really that bothered by it that much. He just brushes it off. Like he's a bit worried when Koizumi uh, tells him that Haruhi might be God. uh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
The one time he actually kind of goes a little mad is when Haruri disappears, right? um like literally anything else, right? Like somebody trying to stab him, or like a rift opening up to a different dimension, like time travel. Like he sort of seems to sort of take, he kind of takes a lot of it under his stride, right? But then like Haruri disappears, and the the timeline changes, and that's kind of and that's the thing that like makes him go crazy. Like that's what makes him snap eventually. Which is kind of it is interesting, like but maybe just for the sake of like plot convenience, you don't want him like overreacting to it. In a sense, but I don't know. It's I think it's up for like debate, like if it's weird or not.
Yeah, I mean, like in the movie, um, he was like kind of talking about because like when it like came to the actual decision whether to like execute the program of which Nagato left to reset the timeline, like he didn't like even hesitate or whatever, to go back to the real one. But then later on, um, there's this scene inside his mind, where like he thinks about like why did he actually go back and um, change the timeline back, and he's like questioning himself basically, and he's talking about how like he thought that like it was supposed to be um, his role, so to speak, in to be like you know complaining, the guy who complain, the straight man basically, as we were talking about.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I guess there is like a difference because his like whole reality, you could say, is constructed by Haruri, in like a literal sense, not obviously what's going on in his head, which he doesn't have control over for whatever reason. Um, whereas like Nagato, like when she changes the timeline, this is like totally foreign, so it probably would like um yeah, it's probably like I think people would maybe be like less like acclimatized to that. It makes sense that that disturbs him more, in a sense. It's also, I think, like the most significant change that occurs, right? Like the most significant break from like a logical consistent reality he also faces. But so it is interesting how he kind of like how like nonchalant he is about a lot of it. Like oh well, that happened, I guess. Maybe my like sense of like his reaction is also warped because season one shows a lot of stuff that happens much later in the chronology. So maybe the like easing in isn't so dramatic, but I'm not sure.
I mean, my feeling about it is more like, so like we said that like Haruhi needs to like grow up and be okay with like the world be normal, and still enjoy yourself. So we have like a similar thing with Kion, uh, sort of growing to like the world being abnormal, let's say. Um, yeah. Um, so any other aspect? I mean, about that scene which you talked about earlier, Brev. I mean, my understanding is more like the reason why they were showing like the cosmos or whatever might have just been because like Yuki Nagato is like an alien entity, and it's like to make us wonder like where on like in the universe is this entity which has sent her. Where is it actually in space? How far away? Like is it even physical, or like I don't know? Is it like like Lane or whatever? Um, just made of information. Um,
We know Nagato can, like control time and space, right? So the changes to the timeline that Haruri makes, she can notice. So I guess, well, I mean, like we understand that Haruri knows about how long it takes for things to like, for information to travel Right. I think she says like Sagittarius, was it, or is that something else?
That's the Sagittarius is like the name of the game, which
Oh yeah.
it's also like a constellation as well, I think. But it's
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
the name of
Yeah.
the
The episodes. Yeah. Like the episode she talks about this in is a Bamboo Leaf Rhapsody, where she talks about like like it would take like years and years for it to for it to reach this place, and so you have to plan like decades in advance for your wish to come true. So it makes sense that the alien race she designs can overcome this barrier, because because God, I keep forgetting her name. Yeah, because Nagato is able to basically time travel in a sense, but she doesn't really age, I don't think, and time doesn't really matter to her, and she her race have mastered um, the universe in a sense, or like space time, right? So like distances no longer matter. Um,
yeah. But by the way, do you think do you think that Nagato changed the timeline for her own sake or for Kion's sake?
The after credits sequence shows Naruto looking at a boy and a girl, with the boy helping the girl acquire a library card, which is what Kyon does for Nagato.
So you think it was for Kion's sake that she changed the timeline?
Looks like she was inspired by this event. This is what I'm assuming that the scene intends for us to think. Uh,
We can hear you typing,
well,
by the way.
it's very
oh, sorry.
difficult to ascertain why why time was changed back, or like why the timeline was changed. Um, because in the actual movie, uh, it doesn't look like Kyon was having a bad time. As he was with Haruhi and the others. There's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
there's something kind of weird about the movie. It is kind of reminiscent of Endless Eight, because we keep seeing our guy open and close his eyes as he wakes up. It is kind of reminiscent of when he is woken up by either his mobile phone, or when he just goes to sleep.
Yeah, there's
A
quite a few scenes.
feeling that that something has happened before, but not quite the same way. That something is not quite right.
Yeah, it's kind of like Endless Eight was kind of a trial run for the movie. I mean, from what I've heard, one of the reasons why Endless Eight was so long is because they wanted to um, have a not you know have the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya arc happen in the anime. Uh, they, they wanted to make a separate movie of it.
Yeah, well played.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I kind of um I do appreciate kind of there is like a love of the game about it, like the fact that they could have like reused so much for Endless Eights in terms of footage, but they decided to basically make every episode a redraw. Like I kind of I also think you have to kind of like respect them as well for actually trying it, actually kind of going through this like very ballsy concept that we're just basically going to show the same episodes with some minor variations 8 times. Um, and it does, it does really make you feel the exhaustion, or at least a small fraction of the exhaustion like Nagato must have felt through all this, you know.
Yeah.
So there's that. In terms of, I want to talk about like what's like Nagato wants, right? Because like Nagato is this like human interface, but there's also this human part of Nagato, and I believe that what that part of Nagato wants is basically just the disappearance of Nagato Yuki-chan, that like series where it it's this slice of life series, and she has this like romance with Kyon, right? Like ever since Kyon helped her get that library, get to library cards, that part of her has kind of been in love with Kyon, right? And the reason why the events of the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya happens is because that human part of Nagato basically wins out, right? And this part of Nagato wants to basically spend her life with Kyon, or slash she wants to live like a regular girl. She doesn't want to be like this like machine, like this like weird like alien anymore, right? She wants to like live normally. I think like so that's kind of what I believed her motivations were, and she calls this a glitch because it kind of is. It's obviously not intended that she has these like human sympathies, but again, like, is this something that Haruhi Suzumiya crafted for her? Right? Is her entire life just basically dictated by the whims of Haruhi? And even if Kyon, right, even if Kyon changed the timeline, would this again just be the whims of Haruhi Suzumiya? Who knows, right? Like it depends. It's very deep.
Kyon's choice kind of is kind of like Evangelion build, um, or
It's so
reminiscent of it.
it's so evil
Because
pilled. It's
uh, bec-
he's Shinji Max to eat evil pilled.
yeah, maybe that wasn't the right expression, but basically, like how in the end of Evangelion, another good anime movie,
Yeah,
uh, yeah, Shinji like has to like make a choice between like the
His
real world.
mom or his girl? The only one.
Yeah. The real world or a fantasy world. Even though here, like, the choices are kind of reversed because anyway, I'm just I think I've lost the point. But
yeah. It's very Evangelion pilled. You're right.
yeah, just wanted to say that. Um, yeah.
Why does our
So
guy speak in English sometimes?
Kion in English.
Yeah, Kyon sometimes says things in English like "why" or the. Mm, well, I had written some of his dialogue, but I can't seem to find now.
Yeah, the English lines I remember him saying was like in like a reaction to like Mikuru.
I love you. No, wait, that's Koizumi. Koizumi says
Yeah,
"I
yeah,
love you."
Yeah.
Kazumi. But it's also a little bit unusual that Kazumi would be like would say I love you, isn't it? Like in English. But I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
Like,
think that
I
yeah,
guess if it's like for, I mean, it does make sense if it's like for comedic effect, because if like
just to tease,
Kazumi,
just to tease, Kion
yeah,
and
yeah, like Kasumi is trying to be funny, like maybe.
yeah, because yeah, I mean it's kind of. By the way, in Endless Eight, when Koizumi tells Kion to tell Haruhi like that I love you in English, to try to wake her up from whatever it is that was keeping her from uh, keeping her repeating the same 2 weeks. Um, and then and then when Kyon refuses to do it, Koizumi suggests that then should I do it instead? We never actually see like Kion's face, his facial reaction. He doesn't say anything, but we only see Koizumi's reaction where he says, "Oh, I was only joking." So it yeah, it was kind of funny, like to see both Harui and Kyon being kind of acting a bit jealous when someone was suggesting that they would be interested in the other, even though I guess Kyon is kind of cheating because he also doesn't like anyone paying attention to Asaina either. So I guess he wants them them both or something.
Or maybe he
Yeah.
wants all three of them. As you might recall in Endless 8, he keeps trying to talk to Nagato, but never quite make it,
Yeah, I think
in like the third iteration or the fourth iteration, he even like drives his bike, quite a distance in order to talk to her. But then it's like, yeah, so goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, he does also like express like that he wouldn't mind seeing like Nagato in a bunny outfit as well very early on. So it's like yeah, I mean there is probably something there, but it's not like it's never as explicit as it is with like a Mikaru. And of course he would never like kind of admit to himself that he's in love with Haruhi, but obviously he kind of is. But yeah,
I think the problem with Endless Age is that not the fact it's the fact that like there's no progress between the loops, and then you just like they just get the answer at the end. Like it's not like they're slowly getting closer to the um to the answer from each loop. They just
yeah.
just
Well, it's
I
only
mean,
Kyon that like has this, this sensation that something's like reoccurring. The only other person that even knows what's happening is Nagato.
yeah, but
yeah. I guess there is some progress in that he does eventually figure out that time is looping, and then he's like, "Oh, I should do something about this," and then he kind of figures out that there's always like interference as like Haruhi leaves the cafe. But yeah, like I think he even says that like this isn't really my doing. It's like the like thousands of like failed attempts before me. That funny like drove him to actually act and like shout something out. I think I saved the like exact expression that Haruhi gives him when he's like, "Do you want to come and do homework?" um,
is it the one you posted on Discord?
I think it's the last one I posted. Yeah, like she makes the like
Pure disgust.
this face of like yeah like disgust and confusion. It's like what the hell you just say? Have you gone insane? Yeah, the answer of course is yes, but yeah, it's a pretty funny moment. I think I'll just dump the rest of the images because why not? Why not?
15,532 attempts to say, "Stay with me one more time, please."
Please stay with me while I do my homework. It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I guess what I mean is that again, but I'm comparing it to Steins Gate. I don't know if you guys have watched it, but in that anime, like you have a similar kind of situation of a person trying to get out of a time loop, but he doesn't get to the answer at once. but you know slowly gets to the answer. But I think the difference from that and this is that in Steins Gate, the person who's going through the time loop actually has a memory of the previous loops, whereas there's no like knowledge being built upon in the loops here. It's like pure chance that
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the one character who does have like knowledge of the previous loops is the worst character to have knowledge because, as she says, she's just here to observe. So I kind of like so basically like Nagato is like trolling the entire time. Um,
Well,
yeah,
she's
I
not
mean,
trolling. She doesn't, feel like she has the agency to stop what's happening.
yeah, I mean, I think I wonder if it's like because of Endless Eight that she ended up wanting to change like the timeline because she spent like nearly 600 years uh, in it. Um,
yeah, I'm sure
just
that would have like contributed somewhat. Maybe the like corruption in her data kind of like compounded during this period. Who knows? It's yeah, it's an interesting concept, like being stuck in a time loop. Though it's kind of its execution um, is questionable, I guess. Maybe like the best example of like a time loop story would be like Groundhog Day or something, where like the main protagonist has it can like remember the previous loops and then he can like gain something from that. But yeah, like as you say, like Endless Eight is like the characters don't really learn a lot because they have to relive because they're just reliving the same day, like the same memories over and over again. Um,
Yeah, I think the problem I have with Groundhog Day is that they don't actually explain why the time loops happen, if I'm not mistaken.
they don't, but I think it's like implicit that like I forget who the actual character's name, but yeah, like Bill Murray, his character in that film, like he becomes like he kind of like reforms himself and becomes a like moral, upstanding like member of society in the end, and he kind of like devotes his time during the day to like helping others, right, and like doing good things, and that's ultimately what breaks him out of the out of the time loop, right? So that's I think, but yeah, like
Yeah, yeah, like there's a good moral message, but they don't explain like because here at
no,
least
they don't.
we
Yeah, like
yeah.
they don't explain like what has put him in the loop, like why he's there and stuff. But yeah, like
Uh, do you agree with what Bio said that the Super Detective arc is like the worst one, excluding Endless
it's
Eight, I guess.
it's definitely a strange arc, isn't it? It might be one of the weaker ones. I would say that. Um, but maybe it's just because like I've watched too many murder mysteries. I'm not sure, but like they also try to like subvert it as well because like the guy isn't actually dead, and it's like a whole thing. Um, but yeah, like it's just something that like Haruhi wants to have happen, I guess, and then it sort of does happen. Um, but I'm not sure. Like like why? Like I don't know. It's strange. It's very strange. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, because I don't like it when like franchises I don't know, or like series just just try to like genre hop for the sake of genre hopping. Um, you know, it, let's have like a heist or a story or whatever because just because or a detective story just because. Um,
I think the only series which gets away with this is of course Panty and Stocking. Um, they can do whatever they want, and I can get away with it somehow. It's I think I think that might be a slightly different caliber of
Yeah.
show. It's yeah,
Yeah.
like with like Haruri, you're supposed to take it semi seriously. So the genre hopping is very kind of distracting.
I mean, there were some good things about it, like Haruhi like not revealing, um, the solution to the fake mystery, because it would have meant that Kyon, the butler, and Koizumi were guilty of killing, of murdering, because when they pushed the door open, it drove in the knife into the guy who pretended to be dead, the owner of the island. So that was good. So she does. So you see that she does sort of care about her brigade members. Um, and the cave scene wasn't that bad either. And finally, there was the thing which they saw, which Haruhi like imagined seeing a suspect, which is why Haruhi and Kyon ended up stuck in the cave, if you remember, during the storm. But
Yeah,
um yeah, also another thing which I didn't get, uh what happened to the boat, because the boat disappeared, right, during the storm. So did they like, because the storm looked pretty bad, so I don't think they could have like taken.
I think that's also a part of the show. I think what all the guys drove the boat away to kind of give the impression that he has been the perpetrator, and so he was going to leave, or something like that, and then he returns with the boats, and it's like, aha, it was a prank all along, sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I guess maybe like I'm just getting confused. Then the storm must have stopped, and he should have been able to leave, because like they couldn't leave the island before on the boat, because the storm was too bad. But yeah, like when they are leaving the island, they realize that now there is some kind of creation by of Haruhi's mind on the island, because she imagined that she saw the culprit. Uh,
Yeah,
y-
yeah. It's kind of like yeah. It brings again like it just brings a lot of stuff into question because she probably would have been scared of like random stuff when she was really young. Like, are there like cryptids like you know just around like from her like early childhood? Like, who knows?
yeah, I was thinking of like, given that this was like this arc was like going into like the Detective Conan type tropes, where because in Detective Conan, I don't know if you have seen it, um like they sometimes show the culprit doing stuff, but in order to hide the appearance of the culprit, it's just a shadow. They just show like a shadow doing
Yeah, yeah.
murdering someone and so on. So like now I wonder if like there's just this shadow on the island uh
That'd be cool.
left. Yeah.
Shadow on the Island. That's a
This
good book title.
this human shaped shadow on the island, which normally fills in the role of the culprit.
I, or it's just a guy like dressed like a Scooby Doo costume, running around.
Okay. So if there's nothing else left,
Hold on,
any ju-
I will consult the graph. Hold on, and I'll see if there's anything I wanted to
About the
go
murder
through.
mystery episode, the shadow in question isn't actually resolved.
yeah, it isn't. They just realize that while they are like taking the boat out of away from the island, so it's never resolved unless it gets resolved in a later novel, or maybe like, given that the island is owned or run by someone related to the association which Koizumi is part of, maybe they will be the ones who have to deal with it.
Yeah. Sorry. I think the last thing I wanted to just point out. Well, I mean, we haven't really talked about the movie, but I don't like. How deep do you want to get into the film? Like, we've kind of been going back and forth on the film. I think we got like a decent amount of it covered anyway. But there is oh yes, something I will mention about the film is that there's this sort of subplot that happens during the series where he goes back in time with Mikuru, and he ends up hanging out with a younger version of Haruri. But when he's there, he actually bumps into an older version of Mikuru, right? And she tells him that she's here for a different purpose. We finally get that paid off in the film, which is pretty good. Yeah, I think it was like the film actually did time travel quite well. It seemed to be. I think they were very smart in keeping the time travel limited to like a single character who wasn't really the like a like primary mover, if that makes sense. So you couldn't really have this like arbitrary time travel everywhere. It was it's very structured in a sense where like yeah, like time travel happened twice. Like once when he went back during the series to talk to Haruri, and then a second time where he goes back with and yeah, where he just goes back thanks to Nagato, where he meets an older Mikuru, and he also talks and he shouts over to a younger Haruri as well a few minutes later in the like chronology. Then of course the original Mikuru and Kyun go to Nagato's house where she's waiting basically for Haruri to join the high school, and then they get caught in a time like isolation like space where they can just basically just go into like deep sleep until they get reawakened in the future at some point. However, this second round, this round of Kyun and the older Mikuru during the film don't have such a luxury, and instead, like Nagato tells them that you need to go and I'm going to send you to the other version of myself, and you need to inject her with like this syringe, and this syringe contains a program which will fix me and stop me from messing up the timeline, which is what she's going to do in the future. So they both get sent to the future basically, and Kyun tries to shoot Nagato to correct her. However, he stopped last minute by a rogue piece of software, which is Asakura, which is Asakura. Of course, it isn't the real Asakura because she was like killed or something. But it's like a fragment of Nagato, which is manifested as Asakura. She stabs Kyun, and before Kyun gets a chance to actually shoot Nagato, and as he's on the floor bleeding out, not being helped at all by the older Mikuru, by the way, like she's totally useless in this situation. He hears the voice.
Useless.
Yeah. He hears the voice of another version of himself, which doesn't make any sense. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I still don't understand at all how this is even possible. But there's like a whole duplicate version of the brigade that goes and helps him, and presumably shoots Nagato with the like correction agent or whatever it is. And the timeline is restored, and the timeline is restored to a version of reality where instead of everything being changed, he fell down the stairs and went into a coma, and everyone's really worried about him basically. And we get this like cute like image of Haruri in the sleeping bag, and it's very wholesome. And that's basically the film. There you go.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I have to agree that like they don't do a good job of it, a good job of explaining. Ho-
My assumption is that would be cleaned up maybe in like a later story in
yeah,
like
it
in
is.
the um
I remember reading. I read the novel a while ago now. I can't remember the exact details, but basically, as it said in the movie, they right. I think right after the events of the movie, they just um, go back in time again, and I think that there's two Nagatos as well. Uh, so,
twice twice the fun.
yeah, and I think she's the one who like saves um uh, Kyon, the Kyon who's been downed from getting stabbed.
Yes, yes,
Um,
she does in the film as well. All right.
yeah, and I think that the Nagato which we see there is the Nagato from the future, which is the Nagato,
I mean,
which
she would have
is
to, right?
yeah,
But that also doesn't. But yeah, anyway, whatever. Is it? Yeah, whatever. It's a paradox. Let's just live. Let's live with this
I think
reality.
yeah, I think
Um,
it just gets resolved in the novel very briefly, and they could have. I mean, the
yeah,
movie's kind of long. I have to, but I didn't really feel it this time. But
no, you didn't.
other,
Yeah, it's like an hour 40 minutes, I think, about, which is pretty
uh,
like beastly for like a film length. Sorry, no,
but
it's not. It's not an hour. It's 2 hours 40 minutes.
yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, it's this like epic, like like adventure, I guess you could say. It's a adventure of Kyon episode 0.
Yeah, I can see why like some people got annoyed about this the stuff with Keon just walking around and waking up again. But as Brett was talking about earlier, um, that kind of showed like um, that kind of showed how like Keon was feeling as well, basically.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
I
and
have a question about this movie.
yeah,
When they're in the cafe and the cafe scene is happening, as Kyon has like apparently finished explaining the situation to Koizumi and to Haruhi, uh, there's like a image of the Last Supper. It's like a painting on the wall of the Last Supper behind Koizumi. Or what's that about? Do you reckon?
the Last Supper. Okay,
Yes, yeah. It's I believe it's like an hour and 25 minutes in.
I'll go and have a look at it right now.
Oh, this struck me as quite a evocative image. It probably, I mean, it would be very strange to have this painting in a, in a restaurant. It's not even a restaurant; it's like a cafe. Why is it there? It must have some symbolic value, but I haven't, found out what it could be.
Uh,
It's
the
also
funny
funny how this film is called "The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya" when the only guy, when it's our guy that's actually disappeared, not Haruhi.
by I mean Naga. I mean, no one has really disappeared. I mean, I guess the real Nagato has disappeared, and the real Harui, the quote unquote real, it's just I mean, I think during the first hour or so, like Harui has disappeared from Kion's perspective, but uh, I see.
Haruhi has. I mean, Haruhi does exist in the first hour of the
Yeah.
movie. Well, not the first hour of the movie, but like the first 20, 30 minutes.
Oh yeah. But I guess Kion believes that Harui has disappeared from the world, and Koizumi as well.
So
Um,
God has disappeared from the world. Wow, that's very Nietzschean.
yeah, I guess so.
Also, it's
Um,
very interesting that this version of Haruhi calls Kyon John, because that's how he presented himself to her when she was like 3 years younger. Um, John Smith, but John, like the Apostle John, is very interesting in Christianity because he like baptizes people before the act of baptizement even meant anything, because this is before Jesus presents himself to the world. It's kind of weird that John like also baptizes Jesus in the Bible.
Yeah, and there's also another John, not John Smith, but John Titor, who used to be this guy, uh, who was this guy who claimed to be like a time traveler, from 2036, and he was on internet forums from 1998 to 2001, around the time this anime came out. Um,
That's
and
cool.
Yeah, and I mean, John Titor gets referenced in Steins Gate as well. Actually, he's a character in that anime, but he's also like a quote unquote real person. Basically, some guy who claimed to be like a time traveler and shared like pictures, and who claimed to be like a time traveler sent by the U.S. government to prevent World War III or something by recovering something
Wow, he
computer.
had to delete the Epstein files. That's crazy.
Also, by the
Uh,
way, that cafe which they go to, I believe is a real place, if I'm not mistaken. That
I
cafe you
think
talk.
the majority of places depicted in anime are based on on real, actual physical places in Japan. I saw like a website that like compares the images of the anime to the actual place, and they're almost one-to-one identical. I actually have another question about the movie. When Kyon, accesses the computer terminal, or the regular computer, um, and hits like Y on the keyboard, and time, and he's like sent back, or sent forwards in time. I'm not sure how to like explain it. I'm not as eloquent in explaining. But we hear like as the sequence goes on, and we see like the arrows that are the same arrows we see in the apartment where Nagato lives. We hear a voice that says, "I won't forgive you." Who says that? I can't. I don't know like to whom the voice belongs to, and why is it why is it said? I don't understand.
Uh, when was this again?
This was after he like um, has gathered all of the people in the former or now current SOS Brigade room, and he accesses like the program or something that the original Nagato, or the original self of Nagato, like left for him to access. Does that make any sense?
Do you remember? Do you remember that Fahrenheit?
A voice saying I won't forgive you.
I won't forgive you.
Won't forgive you. I kind of don't. Like what was the, like who do you think was saying it?
Well, it doesn't show. We don't know to whom the voice belongs to.
All
We
right.
don't see the person who says it. It's I don't know like what the specific film terminology, but it's a transitory sequence where our guy is being like transported into a different time or space.
Interesting.
I'm having a look at the scene now. By the way, another trivia thing. People used to like go to the school which North High is based on, and that was kind of an issue for the school for a while because people just wanted to go into like Haruhi school. um, yeah. Uh, maybe look at the scene. God, it's taking forever to get there. Yeah, I'm right there now. Maybe I can just share it. I don't know if YouTube will be fine with it. Well, it's just a
Have
few
you?
minutes.
There's also another thing that's kind of weird about the movie, as Nagato is like doing her magic trick. This is when like Kyon is waiting for her to inject her with the thingamajig. She does her small magic trick, and the camera is poised in a way that where we see her shadow, and her shadow is like a cross, but the same cross is that of the SOS brigade. Well, not the well, like the image you've put here on the screen where it says SOS and the um, kanji character,
For
like
that,
that's her shadow. That's her shadow. That cross we see is her shadow.
that's Nagato's shadow, is it?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I didn't really notice it. No, but that's just the character for Dan, which I think means brigade, basically, or something like that. Um,
It's a cool detail.
yeah, it's a cool detail. Also, I remember what I was going to say about Eva. So there's this thing. So after Eva, like there were a bunch of works affected by Evangelion, and they call them Sekai works. And the gist of it was basically that the the relationship between the characters, between two characters, so would usually like a boy and a girl would like determine like the fate of the world in some way. It's called Sekai. So K, by the way, because K means just style. Sekai is from Shin Sekai Evangelion. Sekai just means world, and because the Japanese title of Evangelion is different. Yeah, and yeah, so he so I mean, obviously, I guess it's kind of an obvious point that this anime has been affected by Eva, given the presence of Nagato's character itself. Yeah, and on screen I put on some stuff related to Sekai K as well. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like Sekai K stories because they kind of go into like the mindset of the characters, and maybe to a certain part the audience as well.
It's like it's like the greater versus lesser conflict, where like the internal where like the turbulence within the character is more significant than what's going on the outside. So therefore, that is the greater conflict, and then the lesser conflict is basically like the rest of the world, right? Like, yeah, which is very, again, it's very Shinji Maxed Eva pills. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because here basically like the fate of the world depends on like I don't know, Harui's feelings towards Kyon and Kyon's feelings towards Harui.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, like it goes both ways because in the movie it's Kyon who has to make a choice.
Actually, the last thing I want to talk about after this whole like side thing about the film is again, like we go back to like Mikuro Ashin's Adventures episode 0. At the end of this episode, you can hear Kion basically instruct Haruri to state that all the events of this film were purely fictitious and not real in any way, right? Like or something like that. And he does this basically to make sure that that all the changes she made during filming basically get reverted, right? They end after they've ended after the filming.
The retcon reality, basically.
Yeah, but basically, but yeah, like as they're as they film, Haruhi basically changes reality so that she can get a better quote unquote film in the end. So Mikaru, she wants Mikaru to shoot a beam out of one of her eyes, and so hence is born the legendary Mikaru beam,
The-
uh, um, which was blinds Kion, by the way. But yeah, like Nagato steps in and sorts it out. But also, like a certain species of dove comes back from extinction. Um, like people just like give her things. You know that might just be the force of her personality on its own. That might not be her changing things to her will.
she's selling out Asahina's body as well, in a way.
Yes,
to get
yes. Oh god, yeah. Every time she talks to like a shopkeeper, she points towards like Asuna, like very kind of ominously. Um,
Yeah, I think like the biggest lie in the series is when, well, he sort of does it a little bit at the end when Kion says that she will protect Asahina. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean he does sort of.
yeah. I mean, yeah, he does.
Um, we're going to say something else. Oh,
I think
Let's talk about the
honestly, like,
SOS logo.
oh, the SOS logo. Oh yeah, the making of the SOS logo.
Not just about making it, it's why is it called SOS in the first place? And isn't it kind of strange that the S's are halfway there to make an infinite sign? And like the O in the middle. I mean, it's kind of like an Ouroboros, isn't it?
it's
An infinite cycle.
I mean, Kion like ends up drawing like an 8, basically an infinity sign on the list of things that they were doing during Endless Eight. If I don't know if you noticed that. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, hmm.
and
Yeah, I'm
as
thinking
for
about it.
SOS, I think it stood for something like saving Suzumiya.
it's it's
Yeah,
so bad. Like it barely like matches at all. It's
Oh, you mean like in Endless Eight, the fifth iteration? Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's true. Yeah, I remember now. That's after they were in the cemetery for some reason.
oh yeah, this is what it stands for. Okay, SOS Brigade stands for Spreading Cheer to Our Students' Body Brigade, or Spreading Excitement All Over the World with Haruhi Suzumiya Brigade. Um, so there you go. It's Sawyer.
yeah. It was kind of funny though, like how cursed the logo, which Haruhi ended up drawing that like.
Yeah, she makes something in MS Paint, which vaguely resembles the final thing we get.
Yeah, but because there's this episode where like people who visit the website, they end up getting trapped like in an alternate dimension and turn into like giant insects.
Well, it's because well, they're turning into the things they fear the most.
Oh, was it that?
Because
Okay.
like the eldritch abomination alien thing, like I kind of like forgot the actual explanation of the episodes. But basically, like that symbol resembles, fucking. I don't fucking know, geez. Those are weird ass episodes. That was like from the 2006 anime, and they were like searching for uh the the president of the computer cup because they were they were asked to do so by his girlfriend, which is very peculiar. How come that guy has a girlfriend? You know?
Yeah, they never explain. I think it turns out that he did. Did it turn out that he didn't actually have a girlfriend, and we don't know who that girl that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
she
think,
was basically like invented in order to kickstart the plot.
yeah, we don't find out who she actually is. So that, yeah, like the author like keeps on like planting these little mysteries. Um, yeah, which he can exploit later on, I guess. I don't know. Maybe she's part of the anti SOS brigade. Uh, yeah, and also like Mikuru's friend, Surya. It sounds like she knows something as well. Some of the times. Um, Basically, like she gives off like main character energy, like that she's not just a side character.
Yeah, we haven't. I wanted to talk about her a little bit, but I couldn't. I couldn't really find an opportunity. Like, she's sort of like Mikuru's friend, I guess. But she isn't like she isn't that well developed, so there isn't really a lot to say about her. Apart from
Yeah.
like she does have she's got protagonist energy, I guess.
Hey,
I-
there's something weird actually about the logo episode because, like how he like loses interest in like following through the plot to the end. You know, it's kind of strange. She just says that things will sort themselves out. Well, why?
Yeah, I mean, but they do kind of end up sorting themselves.
Yeah, from Haruhi's point of view, but that's because our guy and Koizumi and Asahina and Nagato do all the work.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
who knows?
I think
Maybe she
like
knows what's going on.
her, yeah,
Haruhi
like
knows.
her,
God knows.
her like visionary directing method is like shoot like a load of footage and then to like increase the likelihood that you have enough footage to get a good film. You know, like I don't know, like, you have
Yeah,
to you have to like go on like vibe film. You know, like uh,
And
just like film whatever comes into your head, and then you know you
yeah,
can worry about it in post later. You know.
another thing about Tsuruya, which was strange, was that like she lived like in this a large mansion, like old Japanese building where they film. I think part of the movie, where like
Yeah.
yeah. She was high. Basically, all the women in this anime that Kyon interacts with are probably above his social standing.
I don't know. I think I don't know.
Apart
Maybe like
from
Kion isn't that ugly, or like
apart from
No,
maybe
no,
like
Kyon is
Nagato.
probably good looking. Kyon is probably good looking, and he's above average intelligence, but he's just not, you know, he's not quite up to par. Like, consider that in the movie, um, like he doesn't gain any like acknowledgement from green-haired girl and Asahina. Because, I mean, that's partly his own fault for acting weird,
I
but
mean,
like,
he basically just randomly grabs Asahina's hands, and Asahina doesn't know anything.
but they don't
And
care
and
to
and,
like
and then
to
and,
listen.
and then and yeah, and then he says that like she has like a mole on her breasts, which she doesn't know
Yeah.
about.
Mm.
I mean, I think like
That's sorry. Just to stem the scene a bit. It's so funny because it sounds like a kettle like boiling. Like she goes red and it's like.
yeah, she's
Uh,
somewhere.
it's a really funny scene. And there's something about it.
And I mean the fact
Was it funny? I thought it was very sad.
But like
just
Our guy is
her
alone.
her like reaction to like being told she has this like spots on like her chest is I don't know. It's just funny.
yeah, yeah. I mean that's why like Suzumiya bullies her, right? Partly, I guess,
I don't know. Like
because of her reactions. if
exactly. Like
if she was like Nagato or whatever, like she wouldn't bully her that much.
yeah, I mean, I think like Hyun is probably like, I mean, if we're talking about like who's higher status, I mean, I think Hyun is probably higher status than like Nagato, who just lives in like some like random apartments on her own, getting like data downloads in her like minimalist living area. Um,
She was so ahead of her time, I guess.
yeah,
Oh, you say that, but Naruto also can like live on her own, or at least, I guess that's like the implication.
that's true. That's true. But like Nagato also like isn't like human. Like,
And like
Well, I
she
mean,
probably
her like human aspect is that she can somehow live on her own, which probably means that she is affluent enough to be able to do so.
that's true in a sense, but we also don't know like her like situation because it could be that like her people are like funding her living there or something, you know, like she I don't think she has like a job, and we don't really see her family. I think her family might not be
I think
real or like on the planet or something. I don't know, like
I think she can just like, I don't know, hack her bank account or something and make I don't know, the zeros appear.
yeah, God,
Um,
yeah. I think like
Speaking about parents, yeah, go ahead, Fahrenheit. I'm sorry.
we don't really know like Haruhi Suzumiya's status, but we do know that her family can send her to like a fancy girls only school.
and we know that she has
Uh,
a father as well, because she mentioned her father like during the anecdote
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the stadium, going to the stadium, and
So
things
it's like she's like at least like, you know, like
well,
middle
it's not a
class
girls
or
only school.
something.
It's a co-ed high school, but for like more capable students.
Yes. Yeah, I guess if it's just such a like we don't really know, right? Like she could be like lower middle class or something. That's probably like most likely.
yeah. In the movie they
Yeah.
say that like, she could have gone to a better school, but she decided to come here.
Yeah,
Uh,
she's just very
but
capable. I don't know. It's to me the status differences is kind of like irrelevance.
yeah,
It's I don't know.
it's anime,
Mm.
not reality. So who do you think best girl is?
Or it's Japanese anime where
Well, of course, it has to go to Haruhi Suzumiya. Um,
What about you,
yes, the
Ben?
bunny girl outfit is probably best on her. I actually prefer her bunny outfit to Asahina's.
Yeah, yeah. Mm, I'm kind of torn between
Green
um
haired girl is kind of cute too.
yeah,
you mean
Greenhead's
Tsuruya?
girl. Yeah, yeah.
She's
Like
early there.
I think if she has more screen time, she would definitely be in the running. But
Also
yeah,
appears to be physically very capable. Since she can she appears to be able to handle physically Kyon, who is taller than her. And
Yeah, I kind of
uh,
find it funny that like that's what you used to judge who best girl is. But yeah, I would. I mean,
well, she is of samurai descent, probably. I mean, all these things like
you,
symbolically mean something. Like her like living place, her like dwelling.
mhm.
They they point to a type of living that's beholden to a specific type of people, to a specific type of person.
she looked good in the waitress uniform for the school.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
club thing she did.
Look, they even made an action figure of her in the uniform. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's hard to say no to like Harui's energy, but I
It
guess
is, but
I'll go with Nagato.
So
because like I don't know, like
interesting.
she's like uh
She's
I
like
don't
a
know, like
child.
uh,
Yeah, just say yeah. Just own it. Wherever.
okay, sure,
Uh,
yeah. But
you should
also,
say that's she has very immaculate coup de energy.
yeah, I mean, and also like I like how like hyper competent she is, like, and how like even though like she acts like she has no emotions, like I really like that moment during the day of Sagittarius thing where like um where like she's trying so hard because and then Kion asks her like whether she wants to win. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
Nagato, yeah, is definitely. I mean,
I guess she's
I
not
mean,
like as
the
special as
wifey quest,
Suzumiya. So,
okay, like the wifey question is funny because there's different interpretations, right? Like, I mean, but yeah, definitely like Ruri for me, and I get it, I get Nagato. In fact, they made a whole like show about Nagato basically anyway, or at least her human aspect. But yeah,
yeah, I feel like
I guess
I mean like they would all basically be dead without Naga. So sometimes it
that's
feels
true.
like that.
That's true.
What about
Um,
character interactions between Koizumi and Kyon? By the way, what's Kyon's actual name? I keep forgetting like his
um,
real name.
but are you like joking or you're just joking, right? Yeah. Uh, yeah. Obviously, the reason for that is that they never mention either in the novel or in the anime what his real name is. Nobody knows what his real name is. It's not John Smith, and it's not Kion. Kion is just a nickname, so like the characters might be there in the name.
Wow, so our guy isn't even a real person. He's just
He's
Kyon,
he's
whatever
just
He's
an
that
just
means.
Kion.
NPC. He's just an NPC.
Yeah.
He's literally you and me or something. I don't know.
He's literally us. We don't we don't even have names. That's
Yeah.
how.
We have usernames. That means something, I
Yeah,
think.
I
it
don't.
means
What does it mean? Fahrenheit, breath,
um
good student. I don't know
yeah.
what any of it means.
It's well, I mean, I think yours is fairly self-explanatory.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Yeah. Let's leave it at that. So, how would you score this anime out of 10?
It's
Well, we still haven't like talked about the character interactions. Like, okay, why does Koizumi love Suzumiya?
Cause she's cute, and I don't know. Uh, uh,
I
I mean,
guess it is like an open topic, isn't it? Because like Kazumi on the I think first sees her as like a literal like deity, right? So
Yes.
is it really love or is it like devotion? Like, you know what I mean? Like
In the
I mean
movie, he
in the like alternate reality,
yes,
he does at least have like a crush on her
yes.
and appreciates the fact that like she's interested in him, but he also is very much like aware that she could drop him at any moment. But I think um,
Yeah, he's pussy whipped, unfortunately. Like Kyon.
hmm, yeah, I mean in the film we also get like he also gets like humanized a bit more because like usually he sort of he does have this like very kind of like off-putting like personality where he's just basically like he's just gonna go with whatever like Haruhi wants to do. He's sort of like this like empty like person who's like a little bit
Indeed.
like yeah he's like a little bit like too what's the word? He's like
Yes, man.
yeah. and so it's kind of like he's like a little bit like uncanny, right? Like it's almost as if he doesn't really have like much of a personality of his own. He's instead kind of like defined by like Haruri. Sorry, Haruri.
Haruhi.
Yeah, Haruri even.
Okay.
So, but yeah, and then in the film, like not only does he have like more like a more human interest in her, I guess, but he's also like jealous of Kyon when he sort of
He
figures
says,
out that
outright says it.
yeah, like, he's sort of like yeah, he says like he's like envious of Kyon for being more interesting, basically. So in the like main timeline, I think it's like up for interpretation, but I think it's less so like being in love with Hillary, but more so like being like devoted to her.
Mm. By the way, which hairstyle do you prefer most on Haruhi?
Default.
I liked her more like in the what she looked like in the movie, The Disappearance, with the long hair.
Looking was good
Yeah,
too. That's
long
true.
hair too.
As for Kyon,
So,
as for Kyon, you all know what he likes, right?
Paul, what did he
Yes, a
say?
pony. He said
Ponytail. Yeah.
ponytail. Yeah, ponytail.
Well, you see how he's like several times, or I don't know, in like one of the episodes, she is like holding her hair as if contemplating if she should have like a ponytail again or something.
Yeah, that's because she knows at that point she knows that Haruhi, not Haruhi, I mean Kyon likes ponytails. So
Well,
yeah.
she has like a intuition because for all she knows, it was the dream. So
Oh,
uh,
did he tell her that during the dream? Okay, that's even better. Yeah.
yeah,
So, when it's like the baseball episode, she like grabs Asahina's hair and she says something like, "It might go better with a ponytail." Uh, she says that and almost immediately discards the idea once she sees Kyon, uh, because he's like staring at them, and it's like she intuitively knows by that point that he loves ponytails, and he doesn't want to make Asahina more attractive
Yeah,
to
yeah,
him.
she decides not to
mm.
not to give us a ponytail. Yeah, I liked the design in the disappearance because I don't know, it kind of made her look like an older sister character, more mature, nice. Um, yeah, Asahina was also a lot cuter than I remembered from last time, but she's just more a blob.
Movie
Um,
blob. That's such a funny expression. I love that.
Why? It's kind of interesting how many characters' existence revolves around, Suzumiya. But like Kyon being an ordinary human, as he is said to be by Koizumi, why does his existence also have to revolve around her? I guess we've determined why for Koizumi, but why does Kyon, like, how does that happen? It's kind of weird.
how does what happen?
Well, I mean, how did it happen that his existence is tied directly with the existence of another person?
I guess.
He's
There's something that I
Yeah.
very much enjoyed in the movie when like he's stabbed and dying, but he's being rescued. He's like closing his eyes, just like how the movie begins. He's opening his eyes, but he's closing them now, as if he's about to dream. Which symbolically, this obviously means that the world as he was in has ceased to exist. Uh, and
I,
now he's opening his eyes again in a different world, a world he like knows and therefore more real to him.
I'm talking
It's kind
about
of like that quote from not Hades, but what was it by Ibn Abi? He says something like, "People are asleep, in death they awaken." And it's kind of similar here, if that makes any sense.
Are we talking about Kyon or Koizumi or?
Yeah, we're talking about Kyon because
Yeah,
Koizumi
Kyon.
doesn't die
Kyon.
ever.
Yeah, there is this like how much of this is like his consciousness? Like these are kind of like pretty like valid interpretations as well of the story. You know.
I think one good thing about like the battles not being over the top, um, and like the time travel, how like they do like a really good balance of you know, the reality stuff and the supernatural stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
they also have a good idea of when to use the technobabble and when not to use it because it's really easy to overdo it.
you know, for example, like the TPD or whatever the heck, the thing which the Asahina uses to time travel, it's not like like a like a physical device which she can just show to prove that like she's a time traveler or whatever. It's somewhere like in her head or whatever, as astral forms they said or something.
Yeah.
So I think like that's the way that they are able like to blend like reality with the supernatural is really good. Um, I mean, because like I don't know, like if it goes too over the top, like it just becomes fate, I guess. Uh,
I think it's a little bit like unfair to compare them really because
yeah,
they're
I guess.
both going through like very different like things.
Uh,
But yeah, like yeah,
but you know like
good.
how like in Fate you have this you know that nobody can actually see the battles or whatever, but like buildings
Yeah,
get
like there are
destroyed.
like aspects of like urban fantasy, I guess. Like you sort of get that little bit with like Kazumi and things like that. But yeah,
Um,
like oh god, yeah, like with like Ashina, like again, like they like show what restraints. Like he never goes to the future, you know, because if you go to the future, it's just going to be like less exciting than what you can imagine, which is just like mystery, like
exactly. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Yeah. You know the association we never like really like we don't go like to the headquarters of the association or whatever, and you know have it all like we don't have like a system of powers, you know.
yeah. But I also think like like stuff doesn't like shouldn't be explained, right? Because like when you explain it, it stops becoming mysterious and like supernatural. It becomes like normal and like
Yeah,
so like a show which is about the supernatural really it makes sense that these things don't get shown, right? Like obviously
yeah.
it's yeah.
It's kind of like an unpopular opinion, but you know, for example, I kind of liked Berserk um before like it just became like full on fantasy when it was like more, I guess, medieval. You could
It was
say
always fantasy.
there was always fantasy, but like you know like
Yeah,
now
like
like you have
it
like a
was a little more like restrained with like the overt
You mean
supernatural
before?
aspects.
You mean before the War of the Astral World that
Like
brought forth
yeah, like
the
the Golden Age arc,
fantastical elements?
right?
yeah.
The Golden Age arc has supernatural elements.
It has. I'm not saying
Yeah,
it doesn't have.
yeah.
Just like Haru has supernatural elements, but like you don't literally have like a country ruled by fantasy creatures or whatever. In the
Well,
first,
you don't have a country ruled by fantasy creatures in Berserk. You have a country ruled by various human cultures, and then after the War of the Astral World, you have a country ruled by, supernatural beings that are evil.
that's the same thing. Okay.
It's
Um,
not really the same thing. And
I
the
think
fantasy creature, the fantasy creatures are
the difference.
actually opposed to those inhumans, as they are called in the
I
manga.
think what happens with the Golden Age arc is a lot of these characters, like this is where I forget like all the characters. It's like damn. Hold
All
on,
the
guys.
memorable characters in Berserk that
All the memorable
die.
characters like the guy with the blonde hair and
Interestingly, I was also thinking about Berserk when you guys were talking about Sekai K, because the the relationship between Guts and Griffith are in a way, pivotal to how the world actually transformed. And similarly to how Geiseric and Void, their relationship also was like a prototype to that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That is, if Void is indeed the ancient seer that was like tortured on Mount Albion, or not
To
Mount
try and
Albion, but
explain the like break, like why the Golden Age arc feels sort of different from the rest of Berserk, or like the later stuff, is that you have all these, is that you kind of follow these characters who are like just these regular mercenaries. Like you have like Crocus and like Judo and Ricketts. The like these people have never came into contact with like apostles or like pharaohs and stuff like this. They don't know this world exists, right? And so, which is why the climax of this arc is so effective, is because like the veil finally gets revealed to them, and they're in this like hellscape, and like the like god hand appears to them, and they all just go insane, right? Because it's like everything all at once. This isn't to say that the Golden Age arc had nothing before that, because there's always these supernatural elements sprinkled throughout, but there was definitely a restraint throughout the arc not to go too over the top until the very end. And then, but
well, that doesn't really change after the Golden Age arc. The arc after it's the redemption arc.
Okay, let's just agree to disagree. And
I think,
I hate that fucking sentence. These agree
is-
to disagree. What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
yeah, it kind of
means let's
it
move
kind
on.
of-
Let's move back to Haruhi.
yeah,
Hey,
like
Haruhi. Yeah, this is what I was gonna say. So Haruhi was going to be Santa.
I wanted to talk about my
And
waifu, guys. Hold on. No.
Suzumiya was going to be Santa, but our guy didn't believe in Santa in the beginning of the anime. So does this mean that like God is brought back into the world? So Santa is real, therefore God is real. Hello.
Maybe Sans for Israel. Imagine that. Imagine Haruhi. There's just a Christmas special. Everyone freaks out because like there's a guy breaking into everyone's house. That'd be amazing.
Oh, there's also another question I have about the movie. Actually, we know that our guy has like a sister, which is just called Kion's sister for some reason. She also doesn't have a name, and he also has a mother. But what about his father?
I'm talking about Kyon again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't. I guess, I mean, it's not that uncommon in high school anime where like parents and teachers don't exist.
But his mom exists. She's mentioned.
She's mentioned. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I can't even. I don't think we saw her or anything.
No,
I
we
guess
don't.
the father is just probably a salary man or something. uh, yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think of? I think you mentioned this earlier, Bref, so maybe you have something to add about it, about the relationship between Kion and Koizumi.
Well, I think I think I forgot what I was going to say, if I was going to say anything.
Okay.
Do you think we should try and like wind up or something, or is it unless there's something like
Important, yeah.
important?
Not that anything we talked about is that important, but
No, ascertaining why this anime was even made is interesting to me. Or like, why is this anime even? Why was this anime even popular? This is the thing that I mentioned in the server I couldn't understand why this anime was even popular. Now that I've actually seen it,
I don't know.
it is definitely entertaining. It is definitely entertaining, content. But
It came out
I,
at the right time. Came out at the right.
It came out I really enjoyed this when I seen it. Like I totally understand. Like you got a lot of very like strong characters, especially in the in the person of Haruhi. Sorry, of Haruhi. Then you have the writing, a lot of the like more experimental stuff that they tried. Like it's cool that they tried to mess with the episode order. Even if it's like not the best thing ever, it's cool that they tried something new, which I think is a significant. And then you have like the stupid dance, and it's like well animated. Like there's a thing about this show which is bad, right? Like it's incredibly solid,
It
and
still
in
look.
fact
It
it's
look
like good.
yeah.
Like I really wanted to like watch more. And I understand everyone who like is sad that the show had to end after the film and the spin-off. So hopefully one day we can get more
Season 3.
Haruhi, a third season. But it's okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think next year is going to be like the 20th anniversary, and they're going to like re-air the disappearance, at least in Japan. If it comes out here in the UK, I'll probably go and watch it. Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
And as for why, I think, yeah, I mean it's solid as you said, but I think it was also like the culmination of Moe stuff basically. It looks really good for the time it came out. So maybe that's, but maybe like compared to like anime which is released now, I don't know, like free reign or whatever, like the animation doesn't look as good or something.
No, like it's funny because like like this show looks better for some reason. Like I'm not quite sure on the like production conditions or whatever, but like this show looks better than like a good portion of anime coming out like recently. At least from what I can tell from like a glance. So obviously a lot of like time and love must have gone into this. So yeah, I mean, it's good to see, obviously.
Yeah. Also, I think so. Another factor which helped with the popularity was the out of order airing thing, which encouraged people to like I don't know, come up with theories and stuff. Even though the source material was already out as well. Also, back then I think there was less anime airing as well, and if I'm not mistaken, like the episodes came out, um, at kind of like at the same time as in Japan. No, I'm not 100% sure of that. I think as for the question about why, which I've had, why did it lose its popularity? I think it's mostly because they stopped adapting, and eventually people lost interest. If they if that kept on adapting more volumes, but the artist also to blame because he has kind of stopped. I think he released like a volume like a year or two ago, but yeah, he ended up working on some side projects like the disappearance of Nagata Yuki, which is the timeline, I guess, where Kion stays in the other
Yeah.
world. Yeah. Actually, I'm not 100% sure about that. Like I tried watching one episode, and I'm not sure whether like it's the same Kion But
I watched the third. I watched the first episode too, just to get an idea, and I don't think it is the same Kyon, or at least it's the like Kyon that's Nagato.
does he have memories
Yeah.
of like the other timeline? I guess that's the question.
No, I mean, at least from the first episode, he doesn't. I don't think. I think it's just written in a way where there there is no like supernatural stuff. Though it is kind of like implied that the class president, like Ryuko, still kind of has like certain like abilities, but that might also just be like anime being anime. So
You mean Asakura, right? Yeah.
yes, yeah. And then it's sort of written like obviously as just like romantic comedy sort of like slice of life sort of thing. So I think that's what we're going for. Obviously, like totally different from like totally separate from the like mainline films and series.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering whether like to force you guys to watch it, but it obviously it would have been too much, and also
I want to like I did want to watch it, but I just didn't have the time, unfortunately.
yeah, same here. I barely finished watching the movie this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, are you satisfied with that, Breath, or do you think that there's more other reasons why it got popular?
I keep seeing references to the dance at the end of the ending, like the ending song and the ending animation. The closing sequence. They like the characters do a dance.
Yeah, it's the
Apparently, that was
Haruhi
super
Yukai.
popular
Yeah,
for some reason.
I think the anime was kind of popular because it was like even like I was going to talk about the message. I was going to say that it kind of like encouraged people. I think a lot of people just related with Haruhi and Kion's. But I can't hear you typing.
Sorry, I'm definitely not looking at the stupid dance.
Why is it called the Melancholia of Haruhi Suzumiya? Like,
I mean, so first of all,
so
I'll answer the
depressed. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry for
I'll
cutting you
answer
off.
I'll answer the previous question, which is that I think a lot of people just, I guess, felt melancholic with their like high schoolers felt melancholic with their like people who were into anime, especially felt like bored because they were just like watching anime and not getting involved in activities and whatnot, and maybe they kind of wanted like someone like Haruhi to grab them to do stuff, and some people were actually encouraged by this by Haruhi and also by Keon, um, and y- I don't know, to start doing stuff, start a club, do activities, even stupid stuff like Haruism, where like people were pretending like to worship Haruhi, like she was a god or whatever, or form their own SOS Brigade club or whatever. So I think like it spoke to like a lot of people. Um, like I hear sometimes I've heard people like criticize anime because like they can't really show stuff like trauma or or from war or whatever because that's not something that the audience or the creators have experienced. So when they try to like portray that kind of stuff, it just ends up looking more like the kind of stuff which teenagers um, feel rather than people who went to war feel. Um,
It's
I'm
very
sorry, I didn't quite understand. Are you saying that, well, who, like, as opposed to what? Like, are there, like, do people who, like, make live action movies know anything about war?
well. It kind
Okay,
of like
like if you make a
to-
military drama, what are the chances that any of the actors or staff members have ever experienced war? Like, none.
I think it's just
That's
like
true, but like if you think about like earlier like war films, like they were made, you know, from those experiences. So like the people, like, you know, so those actors would have literally fought in like the Great War, or, you know, World War Two,
Yeah,
and
the
then like
majority of
different
war
actors.
films from like the previous century are pro-war propaganda movies, except
That's
the
that's
Vietnam War.
true. That's true, but like they may be good propaganda, but maybe as films they're not so good, right? Like, which is,
Yeah,
you
they
know,
have.
like it's funny because, you know, like those like earlier war films were in a sense a lot more like subdued, you know, like
yeah, not not
Melancholic, you
everybody's
might
having
say.
PTSD. So but in a sense, so whether that's accurate or not, I think
I think it
um,
depends on the writer, right? Because some people can absolutely write about periods that are completely apart from them, and like who's the guy who wrote Conan the Barbarian? Oh, um, but yeah, anyway, he's a great writer and an example of someone who can write about something outside of themselves. But generally, like writers will write what they know. Like, you know, like obviously, you know, like Harry Potter is a good example of this, where it has a lot of, you know, things in it that only, you know, someone like J.K. Rowling could like put in there, you know, and so yeah, I think it's natural. Like but yeah, it is, you know, obviously, you know, one of the downsides of there not being a major war is that so we get less realistic war media, I guess.
yeah,
But,
uh, uh,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think there's also, but I also think like the way that like teenagers see things is not also like invalid as well.
Yeah. I mean,
And
yeah, there is like a purity about it almost, you know.
exactly,
Um,
and you can kind of see it here in Haruhi. You know, that's why like people, you can I kind of can't hate her even though she's kind of an asshole.
we do, you know, like exactly, because like Haruri is, you know, she has like tantrums. She's maybe like a bit of a like bossy bitch and stuff, but she still has that like childlike, you know, view of the world where, you know, she still like believes in like ghosts and stuff, and, you know, the supernatural, and there's something very like innocent and like wholesome about that, you know.
I mean, you know, like I don't know if you guys have felt it as well, but like, you know, when you were a lot younger, I guess, um, and maybe even high school age, that or like, but like, oh, wouldn't it be cool, like, you know, this stuff in TV shows was real or whatnot,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah,
Everyone's going through that phase where like you see like a character you like really enjoy, and then you like try to act like that character for like a bit.
yeah. Do you guys want to like reveal who those characters are? Or is that like part of your dark history?
No, because like you're really young, like when you do it, I think it's fine. Like I remember like I used to be like really into Star Wars, so like obviously the thing we would do is we would just pretend to be like Jedi, right? Or you know, like I think probably like the most embarrassing one was probably no, I can't.
That's
No, I can't say that. I can't. Sorry.
playing pretend. That's like. Also, I thought you guys were kind of. I thought you guys said that Haruhi didn't so much as believe in those things as she like wanted to believe in the idea of those things or something. That's like maybe have misunderstood both of you,
Yeah,
but that's what I thought you
yeah, I
guys.
did. I have contradicted myself. I think I've contradicted myself many times, but I think I've been trying to say is that like Haruri is like mysterious, so you're never really sure quite what she believes and what she doesn't believe, right? Um, so yeah, like I don't know really,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like whether she believes it or doesn't believe it doesn't really make much of a difference, because she's still going to be very enthusiastic about these things anyway, which I think people latch onto.
Yeah, people want, I think, someone who's so enthusiastic basically. And as for, especially, I don't know, bored teenagers on image boards and whatnot back in the early 2000s, um Yeah, and people
But
memed
why is
about.
she?
Yeah.
Why is she melancholic? Is it just because that one event in her life where she, you know, felt small in her life?
Um, I can kind of understand why because she thought that like uh the people around her were special, like the most, I don't know, the funniest, or or the best at something. But then I've kind of like experienced like a similar thing, like um and people do experience similar things, like when you're like on the internet and you see that um I don't know, that no matter which hobby you try to get into, like um there's there's someone who's like better than you, like who has watched, like you want to get into visual novels and be the visual novel guy. Well, there's someone who has like watched like 1,000 of them somehow, a lifetime. uh
That's like a law of the internet. Is like whatever like niche thing you're into, there is always somebody more into that niche thing than you are.
so I think that can kind of like make you feel like melancholic, or um like what's even the point of like trying to get into this thing. And I think Haruhi like kind of felt like a similar thing, as also like towards like the people around her as well, or like they're just ordinary people. There's nothing special about them. But I guess as her character grows, like I guess
Do you
she
think?
starts to learn that they're special because she cares about them, right?
Do you
But
think
why
like
does she like? Yeah,
uh
go ahead, Fahrenheit.
yeah, like do you think like Haruri could be like this like insane like high stat like populist leader, like because she could like make people like feel special, and like she can like she can like, I don't know, like brigade the masses. And I mean, I think she's got a very prosperous political career ahead of her, you know.
Maybe she'll become the president of Japan, the prime
She's gonna
minister of
become
Japan.
prime minister. Yeah, yeah.
Japan is back. That's a uh, that's a reference. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, what was I gonna say? Um, okay, but Kyon is like an ordinary guy. Why does she? Not only does she like him, she feels comfortable around him. She in fact feels so comfortable around him. She like opens up only to him, as far as we can see as the audience.
Maybe she just likes him, you know.
She's a girl, basically.
She's just
It's still like
she's
she's
just a
Haruhi,
girl.
but she's still a girl. So yeah, just another teenager, you know. Maybe that. I mean, there's also like. Can you guys hear me? By the way,
Yeah, we
Yes.
can.
yeah. There's also, as I said earlier, the thing about the fact that she met Kyon in the past. So like, even if she doesn't recognize him consciously, that it's John Smith. Um, there is all, and also like he's also the one. But you are right. There's some weakness in the writing in that, because it's, I think it's Koizumi who like keeps on emphasizing that um, Harui and Kyon have like this relationship, like how like Harui like trusts Kyon to be like with her, no matter like how much he complains about it, and how um Kyon trusts Harui not to destroy the world, and so he's fine with like annoying her and telling her no from time to time at least. Um, so but again, I think the problem with that is that um, it just kinds of happens. They just like just end up trusting each other, uh, and Koizumi notices it, but I don't know. I think maybe it's also like that. Um, like you need to like start um not you as in you, but you need to like start just trusting someone first, having confidence in them before like having a reason for it. But I guess the reason why Haruhi kind of likes Kion, kind of chose him, is because she feels that, at least according to Koizumi, is that uh, Kion is just going to go along with whatever crap that he's going to grumble, yes, but he's going to go along um, with Haruhi's ideas. I mean, he's the one who like suggested, or like maybe suggested is too strong a word, but like spurred her on. I mean, it's unclear like when exactly like is the moment that Kion opened Pandora's box, because he already met um, Haruhi in the past, but whether it was in the past or in like at the start of the series, it was Kion who like spurred her on to like form the brigade and start put events into motion and put boredom and melancholy into.
Yeah, I think sometimes things can just happen because they need to. Like not everything needs to be like drilled down into and explained fully. I mean, yeah, it kind of is like it kind of is a weakness, right? Because it's like, even if, yeah, sure, like she met him in the past, but if they never hit it off in the first place, then he never could have gone into the past, and like so on, so on, so on. But I don't know, like it's not that big of a problem to me anyway.
Yeah, I guess I can understand why one would like to ask that question still.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's good to like scrutinize the plot, obviously. But yeah, I think this is like one of like the more minor things, I guess. Like because like when you're watching the show, it kind of all makes sense when it happens. But yeah, like when you think about it later, like maybe it's a little bit contrived, I guess.
Yeah, as in like why did I guess why did Suzumiya grab him in particular for the club? Maybe like it was just
I guess
because
it's
like
because he
she
kind of had
needed
the
a member.
I guess it's because he had the idea, so maybe she's like, I owe you for this, so you get the honor of being in my club or something, like
Yeah,
something like that. I don't know.
He's the lowest
yeah.
ranking member.
It
Like
is
the
well, I
lowest
mean,
ranking member.
Sorry.
He's actually the first to join, I guess, but he's also the lowest ranking member. All the others have like higher, like their armbands are like higher ranks than him.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think like she likes to
that's
look down
because
on
like
him
yeah,
to hide that she likes him.
also like
Well,
Haruri appreciates, I think, people who don't like talk back to her or like doubt her. She wants a full unwavering
Oh yeah,
commitment to her cause.
absolute obedience. Yeah,
Absolute obedience.
yeah, and the course keep on changing every 5 minutes as well. So
Exactly.
yeah,
I've just realized that there's like a special Blu-ray version of the dance of the Hara Hara Yukai, and it's like
yeah. I mean,
pretty like
the dance like the dance is like a good you know
it's a good minute.
example of like it's like a good example of what like the fact that like it was kind of designed for the internet age. Like they were kind of, I think the creators might have been thinking of like people are going to like clip this, they're going to like make reaction images using Harui's face and whatnot. So we are going to cater to them. They're good. Or maybe like it just happened.
Yeah, I'm
It was
flicking
just luck as
through.
well.
I mean, people are still uploading like the Harry Harry dance on YouTube, like really recently. I'm looking through like the stuff people are doing. It's called
Yeah.
it's called It's a Thing. Like it's a bit of like harmless fun, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, other than like Kyoani like burning up in a arson, I think uh,
Less good, I guess.
I think um the I mean the fact that we don't have like a net season is also because a third season is also because the I think I already said this that there's not. Oh no, I didn't. That basically, Haruhi kind of made their studio more popular, but they decided to like make their own works, original works, basically. Yeah, like they own the source
Yeah.
material as well.
Mm.
Whereas in this case, they don't own, so that's why there was no
Yeah,
impetus to do something about it when they could. I don't know if they even can make another adaptation now.
Who knows?
Yeah, so does that satisfy? Do you kind of get why she was melancholic and why Hyun was kind of
I
chosen?
saw a girl. She was called Haruhi Suzumiya, and she was indeed melancholic sometimes, but oftentimes it
Yeah,
seemed like she was on some sort of bizarre manic episodes. But overall, I enjoyed myself.
yeah. I mean, I hate to think of it in that way, but y- because only retarded people think in that way. But you could like you could ask the question like, is like Haruhi like a manic pitsy girl or whatever
No,
that
no, let's not do that.
stereotype is
God, no, that
that we like
this is like
drag
way
the
too late.
self-insert protagonist.
This is
Yeah,
like when you say things like manic pixie dream girl, um, like it's just like it's just internet brain. It doesn't mean anything. Piss off.
yeah,
It's like like I don't
yeah.
think
It's retarded.
Harry Suzumiya
Um,
the brain rot terms we use in this house is tsundere and dandere and kudere. We do not use BPD,
yeah,
autism. Um, yeah,
yeah. Also, like, I feel like when people like you just try to dismiss characters with those terms like that, it's not really a productive thing to do.
no, not really. No.
They just don't. Yeah. Um, shall we move on to rating? Sorry, I bet that was loud. Ratings.
What
How
were
would you
your
rate this
favorite
anime
references in
out
the
of 10?
anime?
I think I don't know. Mine has to be
I like the
the
Conan references.
yeah, it's a good one. I thought the whole like Legend of the Galactic Hero like space battle sequence was pretty good.
My
Um,
favorite reference
Yeah.
was Detroit Metal City in the Rock episode, the school festival episode. You know that it's those guys that play the hard rock, hard metal, the heavy metal song, and they have like
Ah, yeah,
a
yeah.
fat guy on the
Mhm.
floor. That's Krauser and his band from Detroit Metal City.
hell yeah.
I guess we haven't
I mean,
like
I don't know,
watched
like if
that anime.
um, there's not. Is that? I mean, it's not. I mean, if when compare, I didn't really notice that many references. I mean, there must have
Yeah,
been a
like
lot, but
I
I
mean,
didn't
like
really.
compared to like
Maybe there weren't that many.
I don't think there really were that
Well,
many.
like the entire movie is like a reference to tokusatsu shows. I mean, not the movie. I don't mean like the movie. I mean like the in-universe movie attempt. You know.
The
uh,
concept, you
Yeah,
mean?
well, I mean like the SOS Brigade movie. You know.
yeah. The Adventures of
Yeah.
Asahina.
Mikuru-chan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more like yeah, it's more like referencing the anime is like more like referencing like
bit more.
general tropes like
Yeah,
detectives.
it's more. It's less so overt than than with something like Watamote, where you just get like direct parody, you know. But yeah,
Uh,
it's good. I kind of like I regret giving a Watamote an 8, but also I think I'm gonna be stubborn and keep it on an 8. Harry Suzumiya. Now, this is actually a good show. um, that's not true. Both those are good, but so I think I'll give this a 9. I don't see why not.
What were your favorite scenes from the anime?
That's an interesting one. I liked the parts where oh god, I forget his name now.
Koizumi, Nagaso.
Yeah, where like Koizumi shows Kyon his powers and he crosses over to a close space. That whole sequence was kind of very interesting. Um,
Tom
then
closes his eyes during that sequence.
yeah, he does close his eyes, but he does like reveal to him his like power, you know.
Why does he close his eyes though?
I don't
Um,
know,
I think
maybe because
I
his reawakening into a different reality or something. It's
yeah.
I don't know.
I
Because
think
Perception is more
like
important than reality. Yeah.
maybe yeah,
yeah,
because
where you're going, you won't need eyes to see.
yeah, because like actually Hina also makes him close his eyes when he travels in time as well.
Yeah.
Right, which is
Yes.
another thing. And then you have like yeah, but there are like time travel episodes where like they go back in time. He meets Haruhi, then they have to be like put into sleep um, by like Nagato. That's great. I mean, the entire film is just like is really kind of well put together. It's just an example of a good executed time travel plot. It's just about confusing enough to make you like question question if you followed it properly. Um, but it's also like comprehensible enough so like you're not confused when it comes to the bigger picture, right? So yeah, it's just I don't know, just in its totality, it's just I really enjoyed it. With I mean, obviously there were some weaker moments, and this kind of took the piss a bit, but yeah, like it's just a very with the absence of there being that many overt flaws and so many positives, I think a 9 is a good score.
Yeah, I think the best scene would probably be the God knows um concert scene.
Yes,
In
yeah,
terms of impact, yeah.
it's a great scene. Like I kind of thought it almost came out of nowhere, but like when you think about like Haruhi's character, her entire character is a performance. Therefore, it sort of makes sense that she'll be able to perform.
If
And
I don't know, I don't know if you noticed
Wet
it, but
animation was awesome on that episode, yeah, on that scene.
yeah,
yeah,
I don't know if you noticed in that episode, like you can see Yuki and Haruhi like sneaking around, walking around like behind um, Kyon, preparing for the concert basically
I didn't notice
while in
that.
the cost. Yeah,
I didn't notice. It's cool. It definitely, yeah, like this. It definitely has a like high rewatch value as well. I could say, like
yeah. And as for my rating, mm, it's a hard one between an 8 and a 9. Uh, but if you're including the movie as well, I guess I'll give it a 9.
yeah,
I'm not exactly
Um,
sure if I have a favorite scene in this anime, taken in total the 2006, 2009, and movie sequences. Hmm, I really enjoy those scenes with the giant cloud. They're from the Endless Eight section, or arc, I guess. There's like a giant cloud in almost every every one of those episode iterations.
It's interesting that you pick a scene from Endless Eight, but I mean, it's probably pretty fortunate.
I mean, from Endless Eight, I like the scene where like um, Nagata always goes for the alien mask or the Ultraman whatever mask.
Yeah, that's like a
Yeah,
nice yeah. you could you could just like imagine like what's going through her head. Like, oh yeah, I've picked this one exactly 415 times. I'm now going to rotate to my grey robot mask. I'm wearing this now for the 75th time. You know, just like find like the stupidest things to like fixate on because what else are you gonna do in a position?
yeah. She still has to observe, so like it's not like she can go off and do something else. Given the
Well, before I give my final verdict, what do you guys think about the actual SOS Brigade room, which always seems to like have new stuff in it? There's one thing that caught my eye, and there's like this sun mask thing that's on the chalkboard, which the camera focuses on for a couple of seconds in the filler episode, episode 9, of the 2006 anime. I wonder what that is supposed to be.
Something. I'm not sure.
Episode 9 in the broadcast.
I know there's like a frog mask, right? And that
well, that's from the jobs. That's from
Yeah.
the jobs they had.
I think I forgot about that then.
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it's nothing specifically important. It's just you see it a couple of times as the camera like shows the entire room or a specific character standing in a specific place, and only in the filler episode does the camera like focus on the mask. I'm sorry, student. What were you going to say?
oh, nothing. You look for the mask, then maybe I'll see if I can recognize it or anything. But I think I mean, speaking of the club room, there were like a bunch of other anime which were like in high school, set in high school. I don't know if I think a lot of them came after Haruhi, but around Haruhi's time as well, where like they would have their own club room and stuff. Um, it's not a club room, but I guess the laboratory in Steins Gate is also kind of a similar place, full of junk, I guess, which the characters
Oh, you must
collect.
really like Steins Gate. You keep referencing it. I've never seen that
Yeah,
anime.
It does.
yeah.
We should probably like cover Steins Gate at some point.
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Preferably the VN, right? You should probably see that one.
Yeah,
Do that one
yeah.
first. Oh man.
Or maybe we could do both. It would be
Okay,
quite a bit
one
of work.
last thing.
Yeah.
One last thing, and I guess we'll be done. Is why do they like when like they do the incantations for something? You know, when Naruto does her incantations, and it's commented on by Kyon that it's like magic. We don't actually hear anything she says. That's a very interesting detail. I wonder why I wonder why that is.
I
Why
think, yeah.
why does her spell, you know, why do her spells actually not produce any uh words? You know, they're not. It's as if like the main character does not like possess the language, and I think at some point Naruto does indeed say something similar. Our guy just cannot hope to understand what the actual explanations are.
Yeah, I guess Nagato is like basically an Eldritch waifu. Um, but I think like when it comes to these sort of questions, you can like look at them like either why in the sense of which effect it will have on the audience, and also why in terms of like why in the plot. it is that it is the case. I don't know what the plot reason for it is. But I guess in terms of effect, it's similar to what you said earlier. Yeah, the typing is kind of distracting. Um,
Sorry, have I?
yeah.
It's so sensitive. I'm not even like typing. I'm just clicking on my mouse, like on the other side of my desk. It's crazy.
Yeah, I also get distracted very easily. Yeah. It's I guess it's we were talking about, yeah, the why
We're
they
talking
don't make
about
any
like
sound. It's yeah, why they don't make any sounds while they are like saying their spells or whatever. I think it's again like um similar to what you asked when you asked why is it that they close their eyes when they like enter like another the closed space or time travel. um when it comes to time travel, I think one reason was that Asahina in the anime series they didn't want to show how she times traveled to Kion.
yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to the closed space and other stuff, again it's like to keep the balance, like not to let um like the supernatural stuff all get spilled out onto the onto the real world. um like um closing your eyes is something like normal, which you already do. So um it and also like it's sort of like implying that like they don't need like some special incantation or equipment or something which can be explained away and you know established as these are the rules for the supernatural stuff. But I think what you said was also interesting about basically Kion not being able to hear because it's not it's
It's like
human
beyond him or
language.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like how they say that there are certain you know um, frequencies of sound and also waves, light waves or whatever the spectrum.
Hmm.
I'm not a science guy, which humans can't see. Um, yeah. So, what is the score that you would give to this anime anyway?
Well, this anime did not offend me, and I didn't really feel like I wasted my time. So I decided on a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, that's a fair rating. Because I don't know, I feel like it depends on how much like the themes matter to you.
Well, I come from the point of view that I really despised high school, um, and I really do not. I don't understand like the Japanese's obsession with high school. It's so strange and alien to me. Like why is this really the best part of their lives? This small instance of time where they're still in this hyper controlled environment, but they can go to clubs. Is that really it? That's fucking gay.
Um, I mean, I feel like um, so I mean, there's a few things. First of all, like the audience is at least was for anime was high schoolers and middle schoolers as well. I mean, I remember like being in middle school and like thinking, oh, like, oh, high school is going to be so cool, or some it's going to be better than middle school. And also like there's all these like extracurricular activities going on, and also like especially which we don't have here, but maybe like if you've gone to university, maybe you've experienced something similar, going to university clubs. Um, but also like there's also the fact that it's so short and fleeting as well. But when you are in it, when you are in high school, like it feels so long. Also, I feel like Japanese high school is a lot less chaotic than um, Western high schools, maybe. So, because I feel like a lot of the bad things which happens in high schools in the West anyway happen because it's kind of chaotic. Like there's
I
no school
think
uniforms.
I think like the rules are a lot stricter, obviously in Jap high schools. But, I also like maybe there's something to what you said, Bref. Maybe people secretly like being in highly controlled environments where where they feel safe and they can predict what goes on. Like I don't know, like and people maybe they don't miss that so much, but like maybe they feel like nostalgic for like the friends they used to have, or like being like younger and so on. I don't know, like it is interesting, the sheer quantity of this of anime in this like with this setting that has been produced. But it's there is obviously like space to tell good stories here. And so like
I used to
despite
hate.
one,
Yeah, I mean, I used to hate. I- well, maybe hate is not too is too strong a word, but I used to dislike because I used to like watch um that anime snobs videos a while ago, and he really hates
Before he was poor.
yeah, before he's purged. He's come back. I think his new channel is called That Anime Snob Third Impact, because it's the third time he's come back since
Yeah.
third time after getting banned. Um,
it's back.
yeah, yeah, and but I can't I feel like the Haruhi itself and was like the culmination of not just like previous like high school anime, but also like trends in non-high school anime like Eva as well. Um, and uh, like I feel like at this time,
Yeah,
like
it's more than, yeah, it kind of sort of elevates itself a little bit, above the rest of the genre, where it's more than just like slice of life, like high school anime, um, and like it spends a lot of effort on its characterization
yeah,
and like you know these outside aspects. There's an emphasis on like the psychology of like Haruhi and like her emotional states and how that affects the rest of the world. And there actually is a rest of the world, notably in like Harry's, in this show, because they go to a temple and they go to like the pool, and like they have homes, and there's all these places outside of the high school. And oftentimes what happens is almost all the focus is just on like within the school, and there is nothing outside of that space. So yeah, like I like it does a lot with what it has. Like I'm not gonna fault it really.
I feel like with Haruhi and some other anime which came around at that time, like Kyoka, um, anime was not was actually going in a good direction. Where like it was becoming like more self-reflective about um what that did what does this all mean, like we everything which has like gotten up to this point, all these tropes and whatnot, and then isekai came along, uh,
Oh god,
and it all
yeah.
went down a cliff, and maybe like one day like maybe it will like get
Maybe I think it kind of.
reflective again.
I think there is. It's still possible. I think like. But it's like with the like sheer quantity of like shonen tards out there. Like I don't know if we can ever recover.
The
Yeah,
premier isekai anime is also based on a light novel, Zero
ReZero.
no Tsukaima. Yes, Zero no Tsukaima,
Oh,
and it's also a high school anime. It only takes place in like a castle where like magicians like study stuff,
yeah,
study magic.
it's a Magic Academy anime like Harry Potter kind of. It
Yeah, only less gay and more heterosexual.
Maybe the major
I mean,
breakout. Yeah, obviously like the major breakout one was like Sword Art Online.
That's not
yeah.
where I mean, yeah, I guess it's an isekai like because so many isekai are like Sword Art Online, but
I
it's
mean,
not technically an isekai.
yeah.
It's more like that other anime from the late 90s and early 2000s, Dot Hack. If you ever heard of that
Yeah. I mean,
RPG anime.
I feel like Sword Art Online is not like a 100% pure isekai because,
Yeah,
as you said,
it's like a major, but I think it was this like major turning point, right? Where you had these like isekai like elements in there, like yeah, like sure they're still plugged in the real worlds, but the majority of the action is you're transported to these different worlds, and you have all the action in these different worlds instead, right? Like
but I feel like with Sword Art Online, there was actually still some thought put into it.
yeah,
And if you have
yeah.
actually,
I mean, I don't think Sword Art Online is like the worst thing ever, right?
the problem is the
But
characterization, really.
yeah, and I also think that it led to like worse things being produced as well.
Yeah, and I mean, there's not that
I
much
mean,
stuff. That,
I
to
mean,
be honest,
I'm having,
I
I'm having flashbacks to like Redive or whatever the heck that was called. Like,
yeah, it's not that bad. I don't know why you hated that anime.
oh my
Um,
god, no, Breath. If like I no, I think Breath would just die if you made him watch that. Oh my
What
god.
was it
yeah,
called?
full dive, full dive.
Yeah, a full
Um,
dive. Like literally one of the most pathetic protagonists of all time. Uh,
A
yeah,
pathetic
but
anime protagonist. That means that I can identify with him completely. Full
yeah, well,
Dive,
I don't
a
know. I
light
don't know
novel
if
series.
you would. I don't know if you want to identify with this guy though.
Virtual reality MMORPGs in order to escape reality.
so, but yeah, but I mean, that's exactly. Sword Art Online is more like on the VR MMORPG side of things, whereas Isekai, as Breath correctly identified, comes mostly from stuff which was ultimately inspired by Zero no Tsukaima, which I actually rewatched, and
I
I
also
don't think
rewatched
it's.
it like a couple of months ago, or was it last year? I forgot.
Did you feel like it has held up to time,
Felt like
or
completely average anime to me
yeah,
now.
yeah,
I'm not completely sure what I thought about it when I was younger. When I was younger, I watched it because I really liked Louise, and I also liked her interactions with the dark-skinned girlfriend with the large breasts,
yeah, the
and
maid.
the other characters. No, no. The maid wasn't dark-skinned. The maid was
Oh, the
light-skinned,
dark skin.
and the
Okay,
dark
okay.
skin was like a magician. Was like a magician girl.
Oh my god, Dark Magician.
Dark magician
Yeah,
girl.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of. I mean, I was actually surprised how well Haruhi has held up. In fact, I feel like it's better than I thought than it was when I watched it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I wasn't ready for Haruhi uh, when I watched it. Um, but
That's what I thought as well while I was watching the anime. But then, like, well, then bringing back to our previous discussion about like the age groups of this anime, Well, when was I supposed to like watch this anime? When I was like a teenager or something? But I, at the same time, I actually kind of hated high school anime. Only watched them
Yeah,
because of the big breasts.
I
Well,
feel like
this anime's got some fan service, I guess.
Our guy
not as
Kyon
much.
never stops to feel, unfortunately.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, when we were supposed to watch this, it. I think the problem is that the author of this anime is like the of the novel feels is kind of smart. So that I think that's why we didn't like it. I didn't like it at least. Um. Whereas I really liked Zero no Tsukaima as well back in the day. Same with Shakugan no Shana. I still think that the character designs in those anime and Haruhi as well beats 90% of the character designs these days somehow. Maybe that's just nostalgia. No, it's out. No. It's the kids that are wrong, not me. Um,
Well, I mean, I would like to say it's the kids who are wrong, but I don't think it's kids who are watching the majority of it anyway.
I mean, I mean,
Yeah, it's 30
um,
years old. 30 years old people like me that watch anime still.
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people in their late teens and early 20s who still
Yeah. Oh,
what
I would like hazard to say that probably the primary anime watchers are young millennials, older Zoomers. I think that's the hump really. So
yeah
20 to 30-year-olds and a lot a good chunk of older teens.
yeah. I'm kind of worried that the people who are really young are growing so sheltered that they will just get offended at everything and just
I mean,
throw
well,
the
I mean, Haruhi has already been cancelled. Unfortunately, people have figured out that she's kind of a bitch. So it's over for her. She, she's getting me too. Mikuru has filed a sexual harassment lawsuit, and she's going to me too. Harumi Suzumiya. It's gonna go down.
Shakugan no Shana, which you mentioned earlier, student, I have seen that anime and I remember enjoying it. I think there's actually like a more adult or teenage version of Shakugan no Shana called uh, shit, I forgot its name, but it has like a girl that looks like Shakugan no Shana but like older and her hair is black, but she also has like a katana. Uh, do you know what I'm talking about? Or do you find her? And it's also an isekai, I think.
do you, an isekai.
Whereas Shakugan no
Maybe
Shana is in the real world.
maybe if you go on my anime list and go to recommendations, it might be there.
Uh,
Um,
Only thing I remember from this anime that I'm talking about is uh like the manga cover of the first tankobon has like the main female protagonist, and she has um, she has like her armpits stretched up. Yeah, that's the only,
Of course, he remembers the tits.
that's the only thing I remember, unfortunately.
Okay, let me just type in katana
Dark haired
armpit.
girl
yeah.
katana.
Um, yeah. I mean, I think the people who write this anime are who wrote when they wrote this stuff. They were our age, so um, yeah. I think yeah. So a lot of the reflections from that age get superimposed on even on the high school setting. I think that the best example of this is probably Oregairu. but I don't know. I feel like that's Orogairu is certainly like an anime that you can all, you probably can enjoy it more like as like an antisocial high schooler more than as an adult. Yeah, there's this video where like I don't know if it's still up, but where like Digibro gets increasingly drunk while watching Oregairu, and uh, hating on it because like hating on it more and more as it goes along, because basically his point was that like these high school relationships don't matter afterwards, and they're making a big deal out of it in Oregairu.
Do you think like
I think
Digibro could be like the first like documented case of like anime like overexposure? You know, do you think he got like?
I mean, I've heard that. So it could be, but not for the reasons you think. I think so. A lot of anime, like including this one, like has a big emphasis on friendship and how like friends are the most important thing ever. And
True.
um, from what I've heard from thoughts mostly, though I mean I don't know anything about Digibro, so or really.
I only like everything I know. I sort of know like secondhand.
Yeah, same here. So
And
like,
like from like random like YouTube comments, you know, like you know.
yeah.
I've actually seen
So
content by Digibro before he became, you know,
Yeah. Before he
trans or whatever.
yeah.
yeah. Let's keep it, to
He turned in
YouTube's
he
TOS.
turned himself into a witch basically. Which is literally what he did. He rebranded himself on YouTube. But
Yeah, I mean,
yes,
I mean,
yeah, like his like old archive was pretty good.
yeah. I mean, so from what I've heard, like he was kind of affected badly by some of his friends who encouraged him to like to take drugs or whatever,
Yeah,
just so that they could like and like do whatever they like make music which nobody was really interested in, and with people who are not not as talented, I guess, or interesting as he was.
right.
And
I also like got wind of like his girlfriend being like a bitch, or I don't know, like I'm not sure, like I don't know, like you know, like all the impression I got is that like he was like exploited by the people around him in some way. But
also, I
like
feel like
I don't know.
maybe this is reading too much into it, but like rather than anime, I feel like um on anime analysis and commentary in general, like on YouTube, like video essays or whatnot, um it's all kind of like secondhand content, if you will, or stuff, because it's not like you're making anything original. You're just specializing in criticizing or praising somebody else's work all the time, and I'm not sure whether that's actually good mentally, either for the people watching it or for the people making it, either a lot.
Yeah, you don't want to like yeah, like I couldn't imagine like spending all my time reviewing anime. I mean, I think I would I think I would actually go crazy. Like
Yeah, I mean, like those video essays which I don't know, like write like 300,000. Like I was listening to like a video essay about Tula Brew, and they said that it was like two hours and a half long, and that they spent that the script was like 300,000 words long or something. And I don't know. I don't know if that's good. Um,
I'm surprised to manage to get through like 200,000 words in like just 3 hours. That's pretty good.
I mean, a lot of it, as DJ himself criticized, but did himself, is you are just describing the plot of the things which you are reading again.
It can kind of like descend into that. Yeah, I mean, I think we're like guilty, like you know, but I mean, oftentimes it's like necessary, right? So everyone's sort of on the same page in a way. But yeah, um, I don't know. As long as it's like fun, it's like it's fine.
Yeah, but I think like it's like it can't always be fun. Like like especially like if you're like making like long edited videos.
Yeah. Oh God.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of hard work.
I mean, imagine. I mean, like just. I mean, watching something is one thing. But imagine if you have to like play like a video game all the way through. Before, like because there's channels which are just dedicated to niche video game review, right? And they do it all the time, right? Most of the time is spent just playing like niche video games. I mean that's gotta like you gotta I don't know, like you just get tired of it so quickly. At least I would. Like it's because it's so much involvement trying to like review a video game because like especially if there's very little documentation on it because like you're not sure like if you've seen the whole thing. If you want to be thorough, it's difficult because you actually have to like interact with the game on some level, and it's
I mean, I
yeah, I
feel
don't
like
know.
a lot
It's
of
pretty worse.
yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of the bad ideas which come out, um, not just from universities but also on the internet, come from like people. I mean, it's basically glorified reaction content, all of it, including this video which I'm making. Right?
Well, I
At
mean,
the
we're
end of
not
the day,
like it's not reaction content. It is like because we don't have like the thing playing. I guess it's like delayed reaction or something, or like I don't know about that really. I mean, I think I don't know. I wouldn't say like what we do is like that shallow. I think we do like at least think about what we say somewhat before we actually say something. It's not just like
yeah, yeah. I think so. The problem is that it's kind of hard. The longer you do it, it becomes harder to um because it becomes harder to like to separate the shallow stuff from the not shallow stuff, because you run out of things which you actually think. Um,
mm,
I
yeah,
feel like that happened with Digibro as well. He ran out of things. That happened with Snob as well.
yeah. I mean,
They just
like you
yeah.
have yeah. I think there's just this like there is this drive to
And to
produce
be
as much
honest,
content right as
it
possible,
kind of
but that's not necessarily the best thing. But like you feel like you have to like always produce more and more. Otherwise, it will like fall behind somehow, right? But as a result, yeah, like people just sort of like they basically
and
like reveal all their secrets, right? And then it's kind of like is there a way to go from there?
maybe I think it's probably less of an issue if it's a story. I mean, if it's like I don't know, a novel or a manga. I mean, it can still be an issue because the plots can get repetitive and stuff. But with the commentary stuff, I think it's a lot worse because they are not they're like presenting themselves as well. Um, so directly a lot of the time. Um, Anyway, going back to, I think we can finish the Haruhi stream. We all gave a rating.
Yeah,
Um,
it was
uh,
a 6 and 2 9s, nice, and yeah, it was good. You should maybe think about watching the show, or maybe not. It's your choice.
Yeah.
Nobody's
I think
nobody's gonna watch the Spire anime, so who cares? I'm gonna
yeah.
say
Guys,
We
like,
can
found out
say
what I was talking about. Going back to the character design argument that student was presenting. Just look at the girl from the Akame ga Kill manga. That was what I was talking about. It was like she's like a more sexualized Shakugan no Sha.
where did you post it?
In
Which
the
just in the
discussion,
server, the discussions.
on the server.
yes.
Discussions. Akame ga Kill, of course. I've actually watched it quite recently. And it's not like Shakugan no Shana, really. Did you watch it as well?
No, I've never watched it. I want to keep hearing stuff about it,
No.
but this is like the only image I know.
It's not that great. It's not bad either. It's like I don't. Basically, it has assassins in it. The main characters are all assassins.
Oh, it's like Assassin's Creed.
And I generally don't like main characters as assassins. I haven't watched. I haven't played Assassin's Creed. So, but basically, the main characters are like the assassins working for the revolutionary army in, and it's not isekai, by the way.
It's not Isekai?
And no, it's not. And they are trying to. So the prime minister has brainwashed the king or whatever, and taken control, and they're all corrupt. So they're trying to. So there are a bunch of assassins killing the elite, so that they can start a revolution. And the main characters are not safe either. They die all the time. And I'll leave it to you to guess which characters live and which survive. As for the main character, by the way, she's sort of a kudere, I guess. She doesn't emote much. She likes food, I think. Which is sort of a trope as well, of course. So, yeah, I think, yeah, I think that's enough from us, and I'll end the recording then.
Okay.
Goodbye.